Jocks the round table. Let's ride.
Ride.
I really do have to actually remember to come up with something else, just because that's old now.
Next week, 5 minutes before we start, we'll come up with something.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just play Round Ball Rock.
Okay.
But the original version.
Yeah.
From the SNL skit.
Okay. So I was gonna say we could just start off with John Alex doing his list that he's been talking about, but he's not on the phone yet. So
we can just hang out till he does.
Yeah, we can just. Oh, hey!
Speaking of that, we can talk about the list that we made today of the different tiers of quarterbacks.
Dude, I really wanted to have 15.
Y'all are both on now.
Top 10 quarterbacks,
there's
but
eight,
I just
there's
couldn't.
8 top.
There just weren't enough.
I think there's 8 clear-cut top 10s.
There just weren't. There just wasn't enough
and
top 10 quarterbacks.
How you rank,
I wanted 15, and I was just like, none of these guys are good enough.
How you rank those top 8 varies on what you like, but I think
so I did it alphabetically.
There's 8.
I ranked them based on the first letter of their last name.
By skill set, I think there's 8 top 10 quarterbacks.
Was there a situation where you had to go to the second letter of the last name?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Herbert Hurts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Zach Wilson and Russell Wilson? Or you did Mike White?
I didn't put Zach Wilson on
but
there.
you did White, so...
I've got Zach Wilson is not a starting quarterback.
Yeah. You only had 29 quarterbacks. There's 8. You should have did 8 in your top 10, and then started at 11.
Yeah, just skip 9 and 10.
Really funny, actually.
Or you really could have skipped to 12. You could have skipped to 12 because you only did 29.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
but really after the top 8, there becomes that gap from 9 to 20, where you can make an argument putting somebody down. I had Stafford at 11. I could see him at 9. I could see somebody ranking him 17 because this past year.
Yeah.
Best ability is availability.
It becomes very that's what I was the gap between 6, or when I ranked them, I had 7 and 8 separate from the top 6. But the gap between 6 and 9 was way bigger than the gap between 9 and 24.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, John Alex, do you have your list?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
Wait, what is this list?
So this was a month ago. I got on a tangent about talking heads and how bad they are.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
What qualifies as a talking head?
So to me, a talking head is any it kind of has to be a combination of things.
Right.
You have to do some type of podcast. If you played, not that you couldn't play at a high level, you could have been really good, but you got to have a podcast. You got to be appearing on other things, on TV shows and stuff like that. So Kirk Herbstreit, I would not consider a talking head. He's an analyst. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Stephen A?
Talking head.
Yeah, he's a talking head.
Yeah.
Now, what about...
Is he on a podcast? Does he have a podcast?
This is not just based on how knowledgeable they are or anything like that. It's what is the lane that they're in?
Is it likability?
I have a question.
Are they at it, or how good are they at what they specifically do?
Does having played at a very high level successfully not make you a talking head anymore and instead just make you knowledgeable?
Well, so here's what I think. Peyton and Eli,
Charles
right?
Barkley. Well, they're analysts.
Zach, Charles Barkley and Shaq. They're on a show.
Right now. Peyton and Eli are.
Peyton and Eli what?
Peyton and Eli. They're talking heads now. But
okay.
We know how good both of them were, especially Peyton.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't put them in the talking head category.
Right, because they can back it up, basically.
Yeah. Here, this isn't going to give anything away, but one of the guys on my top 5, great talking heads, I've got Jake Arrieta. I love listening to him talk about baseball.
That's a good.
He
one.
also was really good at baseball.
That's a good one.
Anyway, all right. I'm going to start with the Should I start with the best or the worst?
Start with the best because
No,
I
I
think
was
the
gonna
best.
say start it.
The
better-
best,
the
the
better
worst,
list-
the worst. We'll talk about the worst more.
the better list
Yeah,
is going to
that's
be the
fair.
worst.
So
Yeah.
here are 1 through 5. I'm going to start at number 5.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
go.
That's what I was saying. Was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
start
yeah.
at
Start 5,
and go.
but
yeah. All right.
So number 5, I've got Mark Titus. He's moving up my list.
I like him.
I'm
lot.
a big Mark Titus fan.
Yeah.
I like
Was
Mark
before he was at
Titus a lot.
Barstool. Bigger
I
fan
think
now.
He's very knowledgeable.
Very good on the yak.
His voice does not get on my nerves. That's a big thing. He views basketball kind of in the same lens that I think most of us do, where he loves college basketball because of the variety, the different styles of play, and all that kind of stuff. And I also think he's really knowledgeable. Like I believe what he says.
Yeah, I like him a lot too.
Really,
Even though he's
even
not
the top
doing,
5
like-
was him talking about the other day and like correcting Big Cat just like right off the bat about how he thought that the national title was a ref show, and he was like, no, you're thinking of Georgetown, Ohio State, where Hibbert and Oden got in foul trouble. He's the first person I've heard correct people on that subject.
Yeah. And he's not
Yes.
doing like analytical play style breakdown, like play-by-play stuff. He's doing
Yeah.
more of like you said, like talking head.
I also enjoy.
Which is fun, nothing wrong with
I
that.
also
It's just-
enjoy like when anybody brings up like 06, 07 Florida, he just gets mad.
It's
Because-
funny.
Yeah.
And he can.
Because he played for Ohio
Like
State.
Ohio State.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's a walk-on.
but
Ian?
he was there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He
Yeah.
was like the original, like, I don't know. It's like he's not, like, the way I view it, he's one of those people that's like basically created what Twitter is now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just the way that
Anyway,
he used
that
Twitter
was,
at a very,
that was-
very early start of Twitter.
Now, I want to put this out there. Inside the NBA guys are not on here because that's a TV show, and
I mean, Shaq
they've
does have a
been around
podcast.
for so long.
They're entertainers,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, that's just like strictly entertainment. I'm not listening to podcasts with Barkley and Shaq and all them on it. I'm
Yeah,
not.
that's fair. That's fair.
All right, number 4, I've got Jake Arrieta. Love when he's on Pardon My Take. When baseball rolls around, I will probably start listening to Starting 9 this year just because I got into Major League Baseball a lot more last year. I plan on getting into it a little bit more this year. And so I need, a knowledgeable baseball person that I can listen to.
Can I help you out there?
I like him a little bit more than I do some other people just because I know how good he was.
Yeah.
And when he talks, like it's, he's got a cool speaking voice and all that kind of stuff. He was
also
also just
jacked.
like a workout madman before games, and he's jacked. And so
To the
that's
tits.
awesome.
Can I plug a podcast, a baseball podcast you should check out?
Yes, absolutely.
Talking Baseball. It's Trevor
Okay.
Plouffe and then the 2 Talking Yanks guys. And it's 3 times a week. It's about an hour. Right now, though, if you go to their YouTube, I like it better on YouTube because
You get to watch them.
you get to watch the way they interact with each other, and it's very, very funny. It's hilarious that these 2 mid-30s guys they're basically the same age as Trevor Plouffe, and they didn't play college baseball or anything. They're massive baseball fans, and they're very, very smart about baseball. But just the way that they can so easily interact with Trevor Plouffe, who played for 10 years in the
Yeah.
MLB and was pretty good.
Yeah, solid
Nothing
player.
crazy, but pretty good. I think he's 24th all time in Twins home runs, which Twins super
Twins
his-
historic
franchise.
franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the way they can interact with him, it's a really good bridge between a career MLB player and then normal people listening.
Yeah.
So anyway, what they've been dropping right now are their team profiles and projections. They're going 30-1. They had their listeners rank the teams 30-1 for this year, and it's 20 minutes about each team going into this year. It's awesome.
I would like that.
They're
I kind of
really,
want
really
to check
good.
that out too.
They're very good. They
Okay.
do rotation, bullpen, lineup, addition, subtractions, and then over under.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
it's good.
Okay, next up. And he is an analyst, but he also does his own thing. He'll be on Cowherd from time to time. He is always really pushing to make the sport better. And I think that we need people like that because it's gone from arguably the greatest sport on the planet, and it's losing that. And it's losing it fast. That's Joel Klatt. I love Joel Klatt.
Yep.
I think he liked the BCS just like us, but he knows that it's never going back there. And so he really pushing for ways to make this 12-team playoff work and get college football back to where it should be. He also puts Cowherd in his place almost immediately anytime he's on there when they're talking about stuff. He's very unbiased. I mean, he played at freaking Colorado, I think, right? And so
I think so.
he doesn't have any bias towards really anything. He does a great job. I think he's great at being an analyst on the Fox games as well.
Yeah. I like Klatt when he's on Cowherd because, like you said, he keeps him in check. A-Rod does the same thing. A-Rod does it more of in a performance kind of way because A-Rod's just a performer. That's just what he is. But when it gets to baseball stuff, Cowherd has really dumb baseball things to say, and A-Rod corrects
I
him.
wish there was
But he's very rarely on.
Hey, honorable mention, Nick Swisher whenever he's on Cowherd.
Dude, he's electric. Yeah.
I wish there was Nick Swisher so bad. He is so cool.
I wish there was somebody that would do that for basketball with Cowherd.
That'd be great. Swisher is I forget his exact job, but he's player development for the Yankees, so he's always around.
Hey, Christian, believe it or not,
knows the young kids well.
I'll circle back to this one when we get to it.
Okay.
Okay, number 2, and this is as a whole, everybody that's a part of it. Pardon my take. There is no educated or nuanced, really anything that comes from it. It's just pure entertainment with probably the best or the second best guest roster of any show out there.
That's fair.
They're just sports fans.
Big Cat might be. I feel confident in saying this. I think Big Cat is the funniest person in media in general, and he is one of the few people that have mastered the internet.
Yes.
He has.
Yeah, 100%.
He has legitimately mastered it.
Yes.
Now,
easily. There's no debate.
Like I said, what knocked them to 2? They would have been 1. I mean, I listen to them more than I do anything. They don't really have nuanced takes. They are fans, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But and the thing I don't like is they are afraid to bash great players. I think they're afraid to do it because I think they want those players on. And so when it comes time to be critical of guys like Josh Allen or Mahomes or Steph Curry,
other than LeBron,
they will not talk about, this is why this is this way. They can't say that. They just suck them off. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
That does bother me.
That's fair.
Number 1, and they have the best guests, top to bottom. I think they have the best group on the show. I mean, they're the king of radio right now. They run YouTube. It's Pat McAfee show. They are the best.
Yes.
They're hilarious.
100%.
I want to know, last week, they didn't have a show. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. They didn't have a show on a day. Pat gave him the day off because he had to go do something, and he's not allowed to say what it is. But he did say what it wasn't. So they were like, I think someone was saying you're going up in a rocket ship to space. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then they're like, it's a meeting with Brett Favre's attorneys. And they're like, no, it's not that. I would tell you if it's that, is what he said. But I want to know what it was. They said one day we'll find out. But I want to know what it was really, really bad.
A couple of things I think that put them at number 1. Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, in my opinion, is the greatest day of the week of any guest ever.
That's fair.
I agree.
It has changed the public opinion on Aaron Rodgers, and it has inspired so many other shows to have the once a week quarterback come on. They started that.
I don't miss any part of my take episodes, and I don't miss any Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays.
I do not.
Regardless of
during the
Other
season,
stuff I want to listen to and everything. I
I
don't listen to those.
in the trenches with AQ Shipley. I think that is awesome. We do not get enough high-level offensive line content
Yeah.
at some of it. Everything DB with D-Butt when they have that every week.
He's good.
I love the D-Butt episodes.
I mean, you're talking high-level stuff right there. Also, Emily's about to come in, so I may have to mute the phone for just a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and get my 5 best, and then when I unmute, I will do 5 worst. But I do think Pat McAfee show, right now, they run it.
Yeah, I agree.
And, they're doing it every day. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, the toxic table, it's just...
They're hilarious.
It's unbelievable. AJ Hawk, I mean, I love the dude. Like, that whole show is just, they are the best. But that's my top 5. Anybody else can feel free to throw their top 5 out there.
I don't know about top 5.
We'll do honorable mentions.
I'm an honorable mention Jocks of the Roundtable.
That's right.
Facts.
Dang. Just leaving people out right there.
We're the dumbest people in the world. That's the problem.
Probably.
Honorable mention Josh Pate.
Pate's
I'm
good.
a big Josh Pate fan.
I like Pate.
Hey,
He'd be in my top 5.
honorable mention JJ Redick.
I like JJ Redick. I like
He'd
him.
be on the fringe.
My thing for him is I hate that I like him because he played at Duke.
Yeah.
And I hate that he made me like him.
Yeah,
So I hate that
he gained some points today though, didn't he?
He does.
Today was wild.
He does kind of act like he's like right about everything though. And
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
Yeah, which is why probably he's not in the
he'd
top
be
5.
on the fringe for me.
Yeah, that's fair. And then what was I saying? I don't remember what it was. Yeah, it's a good one.
Sherm, do you have anybody?
Oh, like a top 5 of that?
Or just any talking heads that you like?
Bro,
that
just say something.
John Alex might not have brought up.
I don't know, because I've kind of quit listening to a lot because a lot of them have gotten like super takey. Obviously, like it's just funny, like watching. Was it first take today?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called now? I remember when it was first and 10. Yeah, that was like JJ Redick. I mean, he was just calling it out like it was, and it was obvious.
Yeah,
like,
Perkins was being an
Kirk's
idiot.
reaction was hilarious because he like denied it, and then he said, "Well, I called it like it was."
Yeah.
I got a good one.
It's like, okay, you said for like 10 minutes straight while he was trying to talk that you did not do that, and then you just blatantly yelled out that you did do it. So, I don't know. Like, Pardon My Take is awesome, and I think it's awesome because, and John Alex will know this guy. I used to carpool with a guy named Joseph Fretwell to college every day, and we'd listen to that. And Joe did not watch sports at all.
Oh.
He was in the Army for 4 years, and when we were carpooling, like I talked to him about sports. The only game he'd watch, the only 2 games in the year he'd watch would be the Army Navy game and then the Alabama Auburn game, and that's it.
Being from Alabama and being in the Army,
What?
that's fair.
Yeah. And so I'd play it, and he'd be like, I really like this show. And I'd be like, well, why? And he's like, I don't know, because like I don't watch sports, but this is something I could listen to and laugh about while they talk about it.
Yeah.
And so what's cool about that, with Pardon My Take, is like you don't have to watch sports. You could just barely pay attention to it and then listen to the show, and they'll basically just bring it down to a level of understanding for anyone who doesn't even understand sports.
Yeah.
Pardon My Take is what got me
they
into the
don't-
NFL.
Yeah.
I never watched the NFL until I
Ever.
listened to Pardon My Take, and I watch every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday.
And they don't always.
Pizza time.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't
Friday
always
this year.
talk about sports too, because like we're getting to the point where they're going to start like having like random guests on
Mount Rushmore season.
doing Mount Rushmore,
The first-
and all that.
This is turning into a
Dungeons
suck fest.
Dungeons and Dragons is elite.
Dungeons and Dragons is
It's
elite.
amazing. The first,
They do like a Dungeons and Dragons episode. It's,
so
like
funny.
a
We
fantasy
listened
like
to
role
all
play
the
thing.
Dungeons and Dragons episodes from Key West all the way back home.
It's
That's
so
a 20
good.
hour-
The first time I listened to Pardon My Take was summer of 2018, and it was one of two episodes. I listened to both on the same day. I don't remember which one I listened to first, but it was either the Mount Rushmore with Blake Griffin, and this was the first time they did Mount Rushmore season with like guests. It was Mount Rushmore of the worst trades of all time.
Oh.
Because it was the first time he had been on since he got traded from the Clippers to the Pistons.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one was with Rachel Nichols, and it was like Mount Rushmore of this league. And I think most of theirs were like, because she's a big LeBron guy, and most of theirs were directed.
She's a LeBron guy?
She's a LeBron guy. Okay. And most of theirs were directed negatively towards LeBron, and she would just like have to laugh about it. So that was very fun. And then the next one was Ryan Russillo, Mount Rushmore of midlife crisis moves, because he had just quit his within a recent time frame quit his job at ESPN and moved to LA to try to be a movie writer.
That was a funny time.
I love when Russillo's on.
I like Russillo a lot. That's a good honorable mention, Ryan Russillo.
I still remember mine like it was yesterday.
What?
Mine was, so this was when they first started doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was Ice Cube, Lenny Dykstra, and Mr. Portnoy, and that was the first first episode I listened to, and that was the episode where he said Uba, and they made a remix out of it.
Yeah, Uba.
And then that was probably the last time they prank called Lenny Dykstra, because I think after they did it that time, he came into the office with a gun.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't know if y'all remember that.
Played in MLB, I think, right?
Yeah, he played in MLB for a while, and then like
he's wild.
He did not invest his money wisely after the MLB. he didn't go in a good place after. All right.
2011, he was arrested and charged with bankruptcy, fraud, followed by grand theft auto and drug possession charges, and indecent exposure.
Nice. You gotta throw that one in there.
6.5 months in federal prison. Fraud.
What about your worst, John Alex?
All right, here we go.
Yeah, this is the list we want.
Yeah.
Number 5, Florio.
Like, this is like the least worst.
Florio, yeah.
Yeah, like 5. Like number 1 is the the worst.
The worst.
Yeah. Okay.
The best.
The best at being the
most
worst.
worst.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say Mike Florio? Mike Florio.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only good thing he's given us is PFT commenter's name.
Yeah.
That's it.
He
runs
is
Pro Football
about
Talk.
as soft as they come. He gets on my nerves. He's always pushing for these like terrible changes to the NFL. Like he is awful.
Yes.
He really is. I do not like him. I don't like his voice. I don't like the way he looks. He just gets on my.
Yeah, he's annoying for sure.
Do you like how they always trick him into talking about his fantasy football team?
Dude, they didn't this last time. It made me mad.
Yeah, he won't fall for it right now. Now, I do think, like, you know, he's spawned, like, a really cool business and all that kind of stuff. That's great. But I just can't deal with the whole, like, you know, he was on board with crucifying Aaron Rodgers, who was 100% right in everything he was saying with the vaccine mandates and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he's just as soft as they come.
Yeah.
Can't stand.
Agreed.
Next is Chris Sims, who's his duck buddy. Can't stand Chris Sims.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's just to have played NFL quarterback and to be that bad at like your conversations about NFL quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff. Because look, here's the reality. I was thinking about this today. Because, you know, there's the whole, like, greatest of all time. There's that, like, obsession with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with football, it's the same thing as basketball. You can't really say there's a greatest ever. You just can't. Because, you know, eras are different. Sports medicine's different. Rules are different. Equipment is different.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, I think you can say that about every sport.
Yeah, and it's the truth. I think you can have the greatest of that era. I really do believe that. But a lot of that, like we talk about with like where these quarterbacks go, a lot of that is circumstance. Like, where did this quarterback go?
Yeah.
What was he given a fair chance? All that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Josh Rosen was never given a fair chance.
if you're talking about,
I mean, he wasn't really.
like, if you're talking about this era quarterback, like the era that we grew up, so 2000, 2010, that 20-year era, it is Tom Brady, and there's nobody that came close.
Yeah.
And he will shout from the mountaintops that it's Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers. I do. Aaron Rodgers has had a couple of really bad postseason moments where they should have won and they didn't. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mike McCarthy is a good NFL coach. He's not a great NFL coach, but he's good. And he has had more weapons at his disposal than Tom has ever had outside of when he went to the Bucs.
And the year that he had the 2 years he had well, I guess it was 1 year because he got towards ACL the next year.
More weapons than John Morant.
No, I'm saying like as a whole,
Like,
it wasn't-
yeah.
like,
Throughout.
Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah, I was saying that 1 year. If
Yeah.
Tom in New England, that was like the only year he had like a ton of weapons.
Tom had Randy, but I mean, like Wes Welker was really nothing until he got to New England, and they invented that. Well, they kind of perfected that slot role. But I mean, shit. Rodgers has had Jordy, Greg Jennings,
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb, Donald. I think he had a little bit of Donald Driver there.
Yeah, he did.
James Johnson, Michael Finley. Like, he has had a great offensive line his entire career. He's had good running backs. Like,
I think he's,
What
for
else?
the most part, had a good to great defense with him, too.
Yes.
so that's where Chris Sims slots in. And he said, like, Daniel Jones is better than Jalen Hurts. Look, no.
Yeah.
Just no. No. All right. Next, Jason McIntyre. Can't stand him.
I know he is.
If you don't know who that is,
Good.
he's very minuscule. He's very California based, but he'll come on Cowherd. And
Yeah,
they
that's
used to
right.
do
Oh,
this
is he the
thing-
one that's like co-hosted with him a few times recently?
Yeah, probably so. They'll do a thing called Monday's Headlines Today. And I will never forget this. This was 2018. Everybody's written New England off. Everybody. Every single writer. No one was believing in them. This is the first time I can honestly say New England was an underdog throughout the playoffs. It had to be the first time. And so, you know, they play the Chargers first round. And he said, you know, this is the Chargers. They're going to beat him. He's talking up the Chargers. And the Patriots absolutely throttled
I remember
the
that.
Chargers. Throttled them. They gave up a fluky blown coverage touchdown first drive of the game to Keenan Allen. You know, this is Phillip Rivers' year.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, if New England was going to lose, that's the game I wanted him to lose.
For Rivers here.
Yeah.
And then the next week, he was, oh, yeah, the Chiefs, this is the passing of the torch. Like, Brady's done. And, of course, they go and they handle the Chiefs. And then it was, oh, the Rams. Yeah, the Rams are going to do it. And it's just like, bro, at some point, you got to quit betting against the greatest to ever do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the next year, Patriots were going to the Jets to play. This is the I'm seeing ghost game. And he said, Monday's headline today, Tom looks darn old. He was like, this is the Sam Darnold game. We're going to look back and call this the Sam Darnold game. Well, we kind of do. But in
Yeah.
another sense.
Not in a good way. That was that Super Bowl was during my senior year Jan term. I was in a sports media class, and for me and my teammates' project, we did a podcast, and we interviewed our coach, and then we interviewed the athletic director, and we'd ask, like, you know, talk about like BSC stuff, but then we'd ask them what they thought about like the Super Bowl, because it was coming up on Super Bowl week. It was that week in between championship weekend and Super Bowl, and I asked the AD, I asked her what her pick was in the Super Bowl, and we talked about it for a while. She was picking the Rams, and I said, I just don't think I can bet against Tom Brady. And she's like, well, you know, I'm your athletic director. You're not supposed to be betting at all. I was like, that's not what I meant, though. It was really funny. She's like, you're not supposed to be betting on sports, Oakley. You're a college athlete. I was like, yeah. That's my bad. I shouldn't have said that.
Bad choice of words.
That's my
Yeah,
bad.
cut that.
I could have. I didn't though.
Yeah, we'll cut that.
Okay,
Next.
number 2. Is this number 2?
Number two.
My number one has not yet been on his list, so I wonder if we have the same number one.
And after number 2, I've been sitting here thinking I do have like two or three honorable mentions.
Oh yeah.
All right, so number 2, Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
There.
That's a good one.
Like, he has awful takes, absolutely awful takes.
The
Some
only
of the
thing,
worst you've ever heard.
the only
Andre
thing that he's good at
Iguodala,
is
dude.
boxing.
He is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Boxing.
he's good at
Like boxing, I'll listen to him. Other than that, no.
Remember the Iguodala thing?
Yeah.
Greatest shot.
The most ridiculous scenario whatsoever is like, oh, the Martians have the death ray pointed at planet Earth, and we need someone to shoot a 3 to make it to let Earth survive. It's like, first off, this is ridiculous. That's not how anything would ever work.
Marvin
And-
the Martian.
Yeah, and then he was like, I want Iguodala to shoot it. And it was like, dude, what? You want us to die? He's anti-people. He wants everyone to die.
We should like bring that up and ask him that. Like, are you anti-people?
Facts.
The whole Brady Cliff thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was
It was
bad.
every year.
And you know, own up to it. You were wrong. Like, just face the fact. They played lose 45. And honestly, if he went to the Dolphins or the Raiders next year, he would
49ers.
probably win MVP again. Because, the NFL is just getting so soft that, like, guys can play for 1,000 years at quarterback. They can't get in.
Imagine if he did go to the 49ers.
Wow.
It'd be
Yeah,
ridiculous. I mean,
I don't think anyone can play as long as he has, but I think someone as special as him, because of the way the NFL is, can.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
and, other things that Kellerman has done. Just the whole, like, when he got on First Take, that's when First Take
Drop.
just fell
Yeah.
off a cliff. The race baiting, all that stuff. Just,
Very soft
You know,
opinions.
it's
Not
not-
like
it's
he's
not
not into it,
that-
but in terms of like his opinions are
It's
that
not
of a
that-
soft person.
it's not that everyday people can't have opinions on that stuff, but, like, I turn on sports to listen and talk about sports. If you want to talk about that other stuff, start a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, we do not care.
Shut up and dribble. Or talk about
Because
dribbling.
Yeah.
the thing is that those people are so separated from the everyday person that
Oh,
they
yeah.
have no idea what the real world is like. Maybe
Agreed.
they used to. I know Stephen A. hustled hard to get to where he was. I get that. Not taken away from, like, the grind it takes to get there. But once you get there, you live a very insulated life. And you don't know what it's like for normal people. You just don't get it. And that really started with Kellerman, because Kellerman is that. He is the, like, poster boy for that.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to that in a second. Some honorable mentions. I don't know if y'all know who
Suspense.
Mike Silver is. He's not even really a talking head. He's more of an NFL insider. They had him
Who?
on Mike Silver.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the name.
I don't know who that
Yeah.
is.
I've heard
Back
the
when
name
trying
I
to
before.
think.
but I don't know.
watched Good Morning Football all the time. Honorable mention for my greatest, the old school Good Morning Football with the original crew.
Yeah.
They,
That was my honorable mention. I forgot to say it. It
That
was
was-
Kay Adams, just because she's hot.
Yeah, facts.
they
That was the best.
yeah, they,
Old school.
Relax.
They said some stuff on live TV that you were like, ooh.
I mean, Kyle Brandt's still up there.
They asked the question, if you had to pick,
That's just
like,
what a dork.
the greatest coach in a sport right now, who would you pick? And it came down to Steve Kerr and Bill Belichick. And he literally said, I'm going to go with Steve Kerr because Bill Belichick is supporting a certain president that I don't really agree with. And I think Steve Kerr is really being social with all this stuff. And I was like, you are a giant pussy.
Well, yeah,
That's your reasoning?
That has nothing to do with coaching.
About coaching your sport.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Mike Silver.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Other honorables.
My number one didn't make his top 5, so I want this is honorable.
Yeah, hold on.
Maybe it's his number.
Because I'm being too
Maybe
loud.
it's his number one. He hasn't said his number one yet.
That could be my number one. You never know. Yeah, so some more honorable mentions. Man, I mean, there's a lot. Like, really, when you're talking about just sports takes, and we're limited to that range of sports, Clay Travis is not great.
Yeah.
Facts.
He is a very biased Tennessee fan, and it shows.
Yeah.
And I'm just one of those. I do like it when a person is a fan, but let's be reasonable.
Yeah.
And he also pissed me off. Like 2018, Patriots and Titans were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Worst Patriot team, arguably, of my lifetime at that point. 2019 passed them because they were even worse. But, the Titans just beat the crap out of New England that day. Just, destroyed them. And he was tweeting, "Aloha, bitches," talking about Marcus Mariota. And I was like, motherfucker, do you not remember just last year when you got stomped in the playoffs by New England? And it made me so mad. I was so mad that day.
I will say, when I did like Clay Travis, was when Jeremy Pruitt was the coach at Tennessee, and every single Saturday at halftime, he would go live on Twitter and just be like the most toxic human being possible, and just burn it down, burn Jeremy Pruitt at the stake, murder him in front of women and children. This is the worst human being. It was so Darcy, Ivy, and I would watch them we weren't watching the Tennessee games, but we knew when they were at halftime, and we'd watch Clay Travis.
I had the live notifications on, so when he went live on Twitter,
man.
it popped up on my phone.
It was also funny when he was leading the charge to not hire Greg Schiano.
That was ridiculous. Oh my goodness, because he wanted Pruitt so. And who was the coach before Pruitt? Was that Dooley? No, Butch Jones. It was Butch Jones was when he started doing the halftime stuff. The Butch Jones and Jeremy Pruitt halftime videos were. It was
they were good. They were good.
So funny.
That was when he was good. He went downhill.
Yeah. It was so hilarious. It was not just that Tennessee was so bad, but it was just he was so funny about it. It was awesome. And then he fell off.
Yeah, and then not really an honorable mention for he wasn't ever going to make my bad list. But if you're talking about just sport takes in general, Cowherd is very bad.
Yeah. He's an entertainer, though.
Yeah.
He knows. He
is entertaining.
He's, to me, similar to Stephen A. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he is one of the best entertainers. I will watch Cowherd.
Yeah, I like watching him, too.
I like watching him. He's dumb.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. Whenever he says something I agree with, I'm like, you know what? This guy's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
But it's only when he says something. And then 99% of the time, I'm like, this guy's so dumb.
His analogies are top tier, though.
He does have good analogies.
He's just a character now. It's so funny.
Always comparing it to a marriage somehow.
Yes. A failed marriage.
A failed marriage.
That. Every time.
He does have some good takes. I will say. He'll have some good ones from time to time. But,
every now and then.
There was one a couple years ago. It was during the whole, who should make the college football playoffs and all that bullshit. And, everybody could have their opinion on this, but the correct opinion is if you don't win your conference championship, you don't make the playoffs. Otherwise, conference championship games are pointless. And
following extenuating circumstances, I agree.
I don't think there should be a conference championship anymore. But that's me.
They've made it irrelevant, pretty much.
Yeah,
they're going to. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
They have killed the value of the conference championship game,
which I hate. I hate that they've done that. Is what I mean.
And his analogy that day was, I don't like putting qualifiers on things. I only date brunettes. Blah, blah, blah.
I remember this.
Shut the fuck up.
The other time that he had a spot-on analogy was when they first started talking about changing from 4 teams to 12 teams in the college football playoff. And he was and the point then was but his point was you're not making it better by doing that. You're making it less exclusive. and that's never better. And his comparison was to like country clubs and gated communities, and he was like, "You're just gonna let some hobo out there in your country club?" It was so funny. I was like, "Colin, what are you talking about? This is hilarious." But like, what? You're gonna let some hobo out there? I was like, "Colin, you need to dial it back."
He does have some bad stuff. And now, the last honorable mention, he is. I'm telling you, there's never been a guy go from completely off my radar to probably number 6 faster than Sam Acho.
Oh yeah, he's
Both the Achos.
yeah.
Brutal.
Acho, whichever one it is, can't stand him.
Emmanuel or is it Sam?
Both.
They're both awful. Put them together.
The Acho family.
The social media quarterback, whoever that is.
That was Emmanuel Acho.
Okay, idiot. One of the dumbest people ever. The don't want people smoking weed because then they throw a javelin through someone's
Yep.
neck.
Yeah, that's bad.
He said like, look, I'm fine with Olympic athletes smoking marijuana and using marijuana if they're like running, but if it's someone out there throwing a javelin and you're high, you're gonna end up throwing it through someone's neck. And it was like, what? I think that was the start of the Emmanuel Acho and Big Cat beef.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And like,
It was around that
He
time.
talked about that today. He was like, that's the only reason I have Contact Kim's Twitter password is so I can get on her Twitter and tweet at Emmanuel Acho because he blocked my account.
if you polled every GM and owner in the NFL, they would take Justin Herbert over Tua, every single one of them, all 32.
Yes.
No questions.
He's in my top. He's one of my 8 top 10 quarterbacks.
And so he's like, anyway. All right.
Okay, number 1.
first. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about, like, it wasn't like a clean sweep number 1, but Nick Wright. He looks like
yeah.
Squidward.
Yeah, Nick Wright's bad.
He looks like Mike Green. If you don't know Mike Green,
I
look
love
up
Nick
Mike
Wright.
Green, the comedian. I think he's a comedian. Once Chris Carter, I used to watch First Things First. I did. It was actually a good show.
Used to be.
But when Chris Carter left, he went crazy. There was nobody there to check him anymore. And his takes just got absurd.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, he actually has one take that is correct, and that I get behind. And that's the whole Golden State Warrior thing. Like, he has
What does he say about that? I don't.
So he said that, like, if you look at what it took for Golden State to be the team right now, okay? So, 2015, the Clippers knocked the Spurs out of the playoffs in Game 7 on a Chris Paul game-winning layup. The Spurs were really fucking good. They just won in 14.
Yeah.
Kawhi is ascending. Like, they were going to probably win it. You know, they had the best chance to win it all that year. And Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, they all played out of their mind. They knock them out. And then, if I remember correctly, the Clippers were up 3-1 or 2-1 or 2-0. I can't really remember, on the Rockets.
Yeah.
And Blake Griffin, either Blake Griffin gets hurt or maybe it was Chris Paul gets hurt.
I think it was Chris Paul got hurt.
Okay. And so the Rockets end up winning. Well, if that hadn't happened, the Clippers and Warriors were even.
Yeah.
It was that year where the Warriors just got the mental domination of the Clippers. Like, they just dominated them.
That used to be like an elite rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers and Warriors.
And so, if that doesn't happen, then the Clippers would have gone on and beaten them. All of that is irrelevant because the Grizzlies were up on the Warriors 2-1. And then Conley and Tony Allen get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay? So then you go to the finals. Kevin Love's hurt. Kyrie Irving is hurt. It is LeBron and fucking Matthew Dellavedova and Timothy Mozgov.
Yeah.
Like, that's your team.
Yeah.
And then the Warriors, they win in 6, I think. And it's like, well, okay, whatever. Then the Warriors, he calls this out. Then the Warriors start getting special treatment. They go 73-9. No telling how many games they would have lost if they didn't give Steph MVP treatment already. Calling everything. I literally watched them play. I think it was the Bulls. Pau Gasol was on the Bulls. And Steph is going up for a layup, jumps backwards into Pau Gasol, and then goes up. They call a foul on Pau. And it's like, what? Yeah. That's not a basketball motion.
Yeah.
I watched Kevin Durant up 2 points, inbounds the ball, 9 seconds left. All you have to do is get it across half court. And Kevin Durant just throws the fucking ball down the court for no fucking reason. Iguodala gets it, they foul him, he hits 2 free throws, goes to overtime. We have the Mike Breen double bang.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All of that doesn't happen. None of that happens if Durant doesn't do that. Now, I think Durant was already talking to Draymond at that point about joining up.
Well, it was like it came out that they were talking to each other, like they were like exchanging texts during the series.
I think it started before that.
Well, that's fine. I'm just saying, like.
I think that's when it started. But anyway, he talks about that. I think he's one of the ones that brought up this sudden change in officiating after the Thunder had gone up 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
And then he talks about how, the 2017 Warriors would have been put out of the fucking playoffs probably by the Spurs if Kawhi doesn't get hurt.
Yeah. That was, the Zaza thing was bad.
Yeah.
It was intentional.
Yeah.
And then he was also the first person that said that I heard, you didn't need Kevin Durant. You just needed him off the Thunder.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He is one of the few talking heads that gave Billy Donovan and Russ and Adams and Cantor and that whole group. He's one of the few people I've seen give them the credit that they deserved for being the team that they were.
Yeah.
And so that was when I used to watch First Things First, and I was like, this up-and-coming guy, Nick Wright, is pretty good. And then he just goes off the fucking deep end the moment Chris Carter leaves.
Yeah. He's wild. Yeah. Anybody have anybody else they want to throw in?
They'll sell their souls just for some views, man.
Who was your one?
Was that going to be your one?
No.
Who's your one?
That was actually my 2.
All right, who is your one?
My number 1, and every time I hear this person talk about any sport at all, my skin crawls, and I wish they'd just shut up.
It's got to be a woman.
Mina Kimes.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was a woman.
Yeah.
Dude, if she does not know she is the definition of every single major sport she talks about. She don't know ball.
Hey.
She just doesn't know it.
Hey, sure.
She did a Max Kellerman one day and talked about how you don't need a start, you don't need a good offensive line to be a good team.
Oh, man.
And I was just like, and she was like, you don't need to sign all these good defensive linemen to be. And I'm like, do you think that they just throw big dudes there? Like, are you that dumb?
Yeah, but she's kind of bad, though.
Chill.
She what?
She's kind of bad, though.
Not even close. But the thing is I think she got all that because when she started off, she was on Dan Levitard. And, Dan Levitard was one of those, you watched it because it was funny. You didn't watch it because you took anything they said seriously.
That's fair. I don't like him.
Yeah,
he'd be on my list.
I used to love that show.
It showed funny clips, and that was it. And then when they got serious, they were like, whatever. You didn't listen to him.
Stugatz was hilarious back in the day.
Let's see.
She bad.
I don't know how y'all feel about them, but I like these guys. Although they did try to sue, pardon my take, when they first started, it was pardon the interruption. I love like Tony Kornheiser.
Oh yeah,
They're good.
And
They're
Wilbon.
classic.
He has a
Yeah.
depth knowledge of every sport. It's not just like 3 main sports. It's every sport.
yeah.
Although them suing Pardon My Take really helped Pardon My Take get big.
Why not? Just because of the name?
That's what they did with the name. They took Pardon the
said
Interruption
after
and
the first episode,
First
they
Take.
got a letter in the mail.
They got a cease and desist. It was from ESPN.
Yeah.
ESPN cease and desisted them, and they sent a cease and desist back to ESPN for cease and desist. They told them to cease and desisting them in the cease and desist. It was very funny. And that was 100% PFT's idea.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that was just him being like, oh, here's what we'll do.
And then what happened out of that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. They didn't do anything because it's not the same show. It's not the same name.
Yeah,
They just, I guess, were threatened by it because it had somewhat of the same name. It really, all it was it's the pardon from Pardon the Interruption and then take from First Take. But in between is the word my. So, no, they can't get sued because of that and because they don't own the rights to that name anyway. So, that's why it's funny.
Yeah.
It's very...
But yeah, dude, Mina Kimes, hate her. She's even worse in fantasy football. So I watch them do every year because y'all know I get hyped for fantasy football. They do like an ESPN. They have an ESPN fantasy football league, and they actually do a live draft. And Mina Kimes always drafts the absolute worst team every time, and she'll talk about at the end how her team is so good. Like she will always find a way to draft. She'll be in the top 5 picks every year because she sucks. And she will find a way to pick someone that she probably could have got in the second round. Coming at the end of the second round, she will find a way to draft them early, or on the first round, and be like, "This guy is going to have a turnaround year. He's going to be top 5." Never is. Never is.
Is that why you drafted Cooper Kupp? Because she drafted Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, that's one reason.
I made that up. Did she actually?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think she actually did draft Jonathan.
Dude, why didn't you tell me that? Then I wouldn't have done that.
I know she was a running back this year. That's why I was like, man, I might need to go receiver. Like, that was one of the reasons. Yeah, that and because Stephen Shea was talking up Cooper Kupp like he was about to go off, and I was like, man, I'm doing it.
Well, I mean,
He did before
he did.
Who are you going to draft first this year?
Well, the thing is I'm gonna have, depending it.
Daniel
it depends,
Jones.
because if me and Will both do very good, I'll have a good draft pick. If I do good and Will does bad, I'll have a bad draft pick.
Well, you're not going to do good.
What?
March Madness.
Yeah, so Will has the right to my first round pick, or he has the rights to my draft order. So, like, if I do better than him, he gets the rights to
He
have.
can't.
He can switch. He can switch it if he wants
if he
to.
wants to. Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets the best order.
Yeah, but that's just not going to happen because you're going to do really bad your bracket.
Yeah. But I mean, it got me to 8-5 in the playoffs. So whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think that's the first. John Alex, is that the first trade we've ever had for a future draft pick?
I think so.
Well, it hasn't happened yet,
That's true.
so it might not be the first
we
trade.
made that trade. It's happened.
No, but like you might not follow through on it.
No, I mean,
Right.
he has the rights no matter what. So
He might not
Yeah, but if he
the
doesn't
rights,
accept
I
it, then
do better than him, and
then it's not really a trade.
It's like a you get the option in NBA basket, like swap picks option.
But like Will's
yeah.
going to do really bad on his March Madness too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if it's like 15 and 16?
That would be a very funny swap.
Like actually,
Okay.
Honestly, if he was 16, you'd probably want to just keep it, right?
I would think I'd want 15.
Okay.
Because I don't like the back to backs personally.
Oh, I love the back-to-backs.
I do. You can take a little nap between picks. Because you got 30
No,
picks.
I'm in it. Like I'm like when we draft, like I'm sitting there, like okay, who can I get? Like who's gonna make
I'm
it?
sitting
back?
there-
I'm calculating the whole time.
Snoozing.
I'm going to be
FaceTime
sitting
and
there
all
next to
people.
John
Yeah.
Alex telling him not to tell anybody who to draft. That's what I'm going to do.
No, I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, we gotta.
There are people that get drafted.
Like even
that
Rhino?
I know I want.
That's actually going to be really funny when you start off the draft telling people you're not going to help them, and then
end up helping.
by like the third pick, you're helping them.
It's always you didn't help Ryan. Did you help Rhino this year? Yeah. Okay, so you did. And
Rhino
then
just needs to
him
do
and
what Judson
both
does
had
and
a
just
very
bring
good
in
finish.
like a full ranking and just go strictly based off of that.
I gaslit Judson into drafting Saquon Barkley this year,
and it worked.
and it
It
worked
worked.
for him. No, don't draft Saquon.
No, he
I
did.
remember you doing
I
that.
kept saying that. I was like, don't draft Saquon.
He was probably in his head. He was thinking, "Oh, dude, I got Oakley so bad."
Okay, do we want to go to Sky High redraft?
No, like
We can
we
we
go
can
for
do it real
55
quick.
minutes?
We can do it real
no, we can. That's
quick. Just
something
throw
that's, you
just
can't-
throw your ideas out.
Dude, can we do?
Like, we can do it in 10 minutes.
do next week because I didn't write one.
We're not gonna like literally rewrite the
next
whole
week.
script.
Next week's
Yes,
the
we
March
are.
Madness.
No,
March
We gotta
Madness.
say how funny it would be if this
Yeah,
was
'cause
something
next
that we
week
just
we're gonna
never
be
ended up
doing-
doing.
No,
We're
but
gonna
we
do
can,
March
there's
Madness.
gonna be some time in the summer.
Do we want to save it?
Yes,
Or do we
I
want to
think
do
we
a
wanna
short?
save it. I was
Do we want
really
to save it,
pumped
or
to do it.
we can do a? We can throw out ideas now. We can brainstorm for the full right. We're gonna do a full right.
We're gonna do a full. Like, it's
Okay,
gonna,
well
it needs
then
to be a
let's
full
throw our
pod.
ideas out.
Let's do some
At
brainstorm.
least some of them.
Okay, yeah. So like, here's an idea. I want a lot of people to die.
Okay, that's fair.
I have a
I
rule.
want
I have a rule. I have a rule.
like
also.
nobody dies.
Yeah, I have a rule. No sex scenes.
Okay,
That's
that's fair.
fair,
That's
yeah.
fair.
And we'll have
it's
to
a
tell Will
children's
for
movie.
when Will gets here because Will is absolutely gonna have at least 3 sex scenes.
Okay, see,
suggested.
I want-
one of them being gay.
One of my things when the school falls out of the sky, I want it to crush the house and the family like explode.
And then he flies back.
And
up
then he
with it.
flies.
Yeah. I want some failures and I want some deaths.
Yeah. The pacifier could actually like, this is they're trying to reverse people and it blows up, makes everybody babies.
Yeah. But okay, so we're going no happy ending at all because they're just
Well, but then
No,
really
you get
no.
the mad scientist that like has to crawl in and
But really, it's like they're getting a chance to just relive their
no, but they're
life.
gonna
So
die
it's
because
really
there's
not
no
the-
adults.
there's no adults there.
Oh, that's
That
fair,
would actually
that's
be
fair.
wild if that happened and then the baby crawled and did fix it like he does for real.
Yeah,
But it takes him like a few years because he has to rebuild it from scratch.
can't do they don't die.
But did
But he's a mad scientist. He keeps everyone alive, and then when he brings them back, it's like it took like 3 years for him to do all that. He brings them back, and they've all lost like 3 years of their life. They don't
they go
they
back
don't go
and-
back. No, they don't go back to how they were. They
No.
go back to 3. They just lose. Like the kid's like what 18. I guess he's like 14. He's 17 now. He just loses.
Well,
3
I'm saying
years
like
of his
and they
life.
try to go back to their normal house, and their house is like sold.
Yeah,
like, nobody
other
lives.
people
in it.
live there.
Like,
but
Wild.
does Ron Wilson, bus driver, get turned into a baby?
No, and he leaves everyone.
Oh, okay.
he flies
He
off. he's
kills
like,
all the babies.
I was gonna say he could take care of them.
He's a big left wing guy, and he kills all the babies. What?
One of my main things
All right.
was gonna be first
Is
off.
gonna be. We're gonna do it.
Well, yeah, was first off, Zach needs more of a role. Glow in the
Zach?
dark guy.
Machine Gun Kelly.
He doesn't do anything in the final battle. Like all the other friends, like have a role. His role was just lighting up the tunnel that they're crawling
But
through.
that is low key.
No,
all he
like
can do.
he could awaken his power and glow so bright that he blinds Royal Pain.
That would be ridiculous.
And then Will Stronghold beats Royal Pain because she's blind.
Yeah, that would be
He
funny.
beats up a blind woman.
Blind girl.
Also-
Low key funniest part of the movie that I did remember right before it happened and like got prepared to laugh at it was when he's like, "Oh, I made out with an old lady."
Yeah.
That's really funny. I forgot about it and then I remembered it. And I was like,
Also, I was gonna change. So at the end, instead of them being at like a homecoming dance,
"That's good." Yeah.
I was gonna change it to where the black kid that like melts into a puddle,
Yeah.
and the flower girl, the
Yeah.
flower
The
girl,
redhead
Yeah.
plant lady.
because like she's like always correcting him about like
Yeah,
stuff
she's
she's
annoying.
saying. Like she's kind of a lib.
Low key.
Like
Yeah.
Low key, she was a lib.
She
It
was-
was
I was gonna
annoying lib.
rewrite him into pretty much being like a black Ben Shapiro. And instead of a homecoming dance, they have like a debate.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like crazy far right.
Yeah.
And he just calls her baby murderer the whole time.
Yes. That was my idea.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sherm, did you watch Sky High?
I did.
Did you know that the hot
to be
chick, she's
honest
married
with you, that's
to-
a little, I don't know if I watched that ever.
Really?
Did you know the
was
hot
good.
chick is married to Obi-Wan Kenobi?
To Ewan
What?
McGregor? Not
Yeah.
not Sir Alec Guinness. He's dead.
Yeah, that would be
Allegedly.
weird. No, her and Ewan McGregor got married last year.
Allegedly.
She's even hotter now.
She was in Birds of Prey.
Oh, cool.
Are you talking about which girl? are you
Royal
talking about?
Pain.
Gwen Grayson, dog.
Oh,
The hot
I
popular
didn't-
chick.
They did.
Huh?
What's the actress's name?
I don't remember.
She was in.
She was in Birds of Prey.
No, is it Scott Pilgrim or Scott Pilgrim? What was it?
Scott
Scott
Pilgrim
Pilgrim
versus the World. Yeah.
Okay. Was it something Winstead?
Is it Elizabeth Winstead?
Dude, I have no idea.
That sounds right. What a movie!
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
She was the
Yeah.
Huntress and Harley Quinn.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Yeah.
What if...
Also, time out. Just talking about the movie in general. Gwen Grayson's dad, like in the movie.
Oh,
Does he
that was
know?
another thing. I was gonna
Like,
From Community?
yeah.
does he know like that she was turned into a baby?
He was
Yeah, 'cause
the
he, like, adopted
he's
her.
he's the henchman.
He's the little henchman guy that runs around dressed like the Joker. Stitches.
He
yeah.
is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're on the same
Yeah.
team.
I didn't know.
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
realize until this time I watched it that
That
was
was
the
him.
dean.
And so that was like, I couldn't remember that part of it, but the first scene where they show them and he's talking,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's the dean from Community. And now I remember him like
Yeah.
answering the door and being the.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, now I remember how this entire movie goes.
Yeah.
Because I just heard his voice and I was like, oh, that's the dean.
I was just gonna make his character be the dean.
That would work.
Yeah.
He's also the
But
dean.
still be the bad, like still be a bad
best
guy.
Obviously.
parts of the movie
Do what?
is one of the best parts of the movie is when they go to Bruce Campbell and they say heroes or villains, and those two freaking fat bullies are like villains.
Yeah, I would also change like, why would you have the fast guy be fat? That's not
That's
realistic.
funny.
That's not realistic.
But that's funny.
It would
That's
also
really
be funny if the elastic guy was fat.
Really, you could make anyone in there
No,
fat,
for
and
sure.
that would be funny.
That's funny because you got to think like, what if you came to Russellville High School as a transfer student and you were just wondering like, who's the fastest guy in Russellville, and then John Alex just pointed at me. He was like, "Sherm, dude."
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he pointed at Corey Snow.
I thought you were going to say who's the fastest manual laborer
that
in
guy
Russellville.
wasn't that
And there was
fat.
like 10 Mexican dudes.
No, he
Me?
wasn't that fat. I was also gonna
I will
change.
say in the movie, I didn't realize it at the time. Star-studded cast all the way through.
Yeah, definitely. Kurt Russell,
Who's that?
He's the
The
dad.
dad.
Kurt Russell, you know,
Linda Carter,
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
she was the principal.
principal.
OG
Even
Wonder Woman.
what?
Forrest Leachman.
What?
Linda Carter was the principal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Principal Powers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The hot mom. She's married to John Travolta.
Yes, Kelly Preston.
The woman who can
Will
fly?
Stronghold's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jetstream.
Jetstream.
Jetstreamer. Jet.
She has a
Was it the
stream.
mom from Zack and Cody on?
Josie, that's her name. Josie.
I don't think she was in it. The
Yeah,
mom
she
from Zack and
was.
Cody. Who was she?
No.
She definitely was not.
I swear she was.
Dude, you're wild. You know Mr. Mosby and Zack and Cody? You know
Yeah.
he killed a guy?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
How?
Like,
With his car.
Oh.
I think he was drunk.
Oh, so
Maybe the guy he
it
hit
was
was drunk?
manslaughter. It wasn't murder. It was manslaughter.
I didn't
Oh,
say it was
he's
murder.
still-
He just killed a guy.
Still killed a guy.
Yeah.
This was before he was on Zack and Cody too. It's not like afterwards. It was before, and then they were like, "Hey, come be on this show." Good show.
Ron Wilson needs more of a role.
Yeah,
Ron
He
Wilson,
needs to
bus
fall in
driver.
the waist before.
before, like, and become
Maybe
a
the
giant
day,
person.
maybe the day he's out there like while everything's going on in the prom, and he's like swinging around with his broom. You remember that?
Yeah.
he like falls into the waste, so then he can help save.
Yeah,
the
there's
day.
just waste on the
What if-
ground.
from the school. Like,
Yeah, from one of those kids like threw up or something.
Yeah.
He
that one
falls
guy
in the
has
black
acid
kid.
spit.
Yeah, that's
Oh, boom! That's what it is.
the black kid. Maybe he just falls into the black kid.
No,
And
the
that's
black kid and the
toxic
spit
waste, I
are
guess.
mixed, and he like
Oh, that's
falls in
gross.
it.
Oh, whoa.
That's gay.
I was also going to say,
I said no gay sex scenes.
at the end, the puddle guy
Oh yeah.
should have been
Shapiro.
fighting the fast guy because he would have just beaten him very quickly,
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like.
Well,
He did at one point, and the
Yeah,
guy
because he
slipped.
kept running.
Yeah,
His-
but
that was 'cause-
War and Peace was because he could just melt the rubber guy. Like,
War and Peace, super cool, dude.
Great name.
Super cool. Yeah.
Great
Awesome.
movie name.
War and Peace.
Yeah, facts.
I never
Super.
even thought
Because
about
Also,
his,
just like
his mom's a hero and his dad's a villain, so
Yeah.
it's like War and Peace.
Yeah. What if
Yeah.
the melting kid just like melted
Ben
into
Shapiro.
the drink? Black Ben Shapiro. He just melted into the drink and people started drinking him. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would do.
Would it all stick together though? Because like
So
when he
who came
moves
up
into
with
the
the Ben
bathroom.
Shapiro?
good
Was
point.
that you, Christian?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the best.
Okay, so like I
love
had
it.
for the President's Daughter one, I had a special guest written role for that one, and it was Andrew Tate, and I was
Oh,
really
okay.
upset.
Top G!
That would be good.
What if we combined Sky
The two
High
movies.
with Back to the Future,
Oh.
but just for the dance part?
Never seen Back to the Future.
Oh, we
Back
gotta
to the
watch
Future. Great.
One of
movie.
the best movies ever.
Oh yeah, easily.
We gotta watch that.
Didn't we go watch that in Nashville in theater?
I think it came out in like 80s. Something.
Yeah, it came out in the 80s.
No, me, John Alex,
Yes,
and
it
Christian,
did.
we went to theater to watch it.
Dude, Back to the Future
definitely in
came out in the
80s.
80s, bro.
It must have
Because
re-released.
Because there's a thing too. No, I've seen this on TikTok where Back to the Future, like when he hits into the tree or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like Twin Peaks Mall,
Twin Pines.
Twin
Peaks is something totally different.
Twin
Twin
Pines
Pines
on a
Mall,
golf
but then it's
course,
like Lone
and
Pine
then when they
Mall.
go back in time,
Mall.
it's Lone Pine.
But
I
I
knocked
saw
over one of the trees.
I saw something
Yeah.
that correlated that with 9/11
Good
because
grief.
like the time, the time there was something to do with like the time. And,
No,
like,
because they were jumping back and forth between the 80s and the 50s.
But then I'm talking like on a watch or something.
Oh.
And or like when they hit the thing, it was on like
9/11?
The time was 9/11. Like it was weird. I can't remember. I'll have to find it.
funny.
I'll have to find it. If I find it, I'll send it into our group.
Okay.
Sky High. Good movie,
Yeah.
though.
We gotta take those ideas and write them into the movie.
No, we will.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And we can send it to
Black Ben
Disney.
Shapiro.
Yeah.
That helps.
We can send it to Disney.
For them to remake it. Should we recast it or no?
And that's like the final act of the movie. You can still have the like fight too.
Yeah. But then after
No,
that,
Like,
what
the
if
fight-
they fought before and then they teamed up and it was like
I was gonna say like the fight interrupts the debate.
yeah,
That's what
right
I
when
was
the
thinking.
lib girl's about to talk too, so we don't have to listen to her.
Yeah. She doesn't
crap.
get to. Make
She doesn't
a
get to
point.
express her
Yeah.
opinion because she's a
'Cause she-
woman.
Yeah.
So with the strong, who would you cast as the stronghold dad? Because I know who I would.
Wait, what?
Who would you cast as the stronghold dad? Because I know who I would cast.
Like, are we recasting?
Probably
yeah,
The
we'll
Rock.
recast them.
Probably The Rock.
Okay, so I've got two. I'd either do Chris Hemsworth or the Liver King. I don't know which.
Liver King would be way funnier. Roman Reigns can be War and Peace,
Yes.
although
I
he's
mean-
like 30 something.
Yeah, but that's
Dude, you're
pretty
30.
accurate.
Why are you still in high school? You just don't get it.
Who's the flower girl? Oh, I got it. What's the Swedish girl who's like 12 that's like
Freaking Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can die in the movie. That's for sure. Who are we gonna kill? I want to kill like 2 or 3 good people. The guinea pig girl.
Like,
She's
people-
pretty
So,
useless.
I just want to know
well,
how
but she
Zach
saves
can
the.
fitting becomes.
Zach could have like a heroic sacrifice. Like,
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
All right, we can kill Machine Gun Kelly.
You can't kill the guinea pig girl. She stops the.
But afterwards, we can kill her.
Oh yeah, I guess.
She like gets
No,
she,
when
someone,
when the school falls on the house, she like it shocks her because she's in there and she
Yeah, that's
dies as a
true.
guinea pig.
Okay, that's.
I
fair.
wanted her to get chopped up in a fan as a guinea pig.
Okay.
And then after she's already chopped up, she shifts back into a person, thinking it might
So the
like,
pieces get bigger.
Yeah, it would be really gross.
Yeah.
There'll be way more blood. People will be really grossed
Yeah.
out. It'll be like you remember in
And it gets
Pirates
like-
of the Caribbean when the governor is in the like captain's quarters, and then all the skeleton guys turn back into human, but he's got the chopped off hand and,
Yeah,
and then he
yeah.
opens it, and it's
Yeah.
a chopped off human hand.
Yeah.
Be like that, but with the guinea pig. girl.
But no, I got an idea. So when the guinea pig gets chopped up and all the big things happen, it goes onto Royal Pain's face and it blinds her.
She's already blind from the white guy.
Yeah.
She's double blind.
Machine Gun Kelly already blinded her.
Also,
he's the funniest character in the movie.
When Machine Gun Kelly, when he dies, he just blinds everybody.
I got something. I want the toxic spit guy. I want him to have a lisp, so that he just walks around accidentally spitting on people.
He's like Sammy Sprinkler from Benchwarmers.
Yes, he just spits on everyone on accident. Yeah, he's got like Darla from Finding Nemo. He's got the head brace that goes around, and he's just spitting.
There's
everywhere.
like a hole in the brace.
Yeah, he has to get it replaced like every day because he burns through it with acid spit because he's got this ridiculous lisp. I want his name to be like Steve Spits a Lot. Steve Spits a Lot, and he just spits all over everybody. Y'all know who I sound
Steve
like
Spitzer. That's his last name, Spitzer. Spencer.
Oh my gosh.
We can think of some other side characters that
I'm trying to think of other characters that could die.
Let's add some
Larry,
characters.
the guy that turns into a huge rock guy, he could die.
He could die.
I was thinking, what about the girl who shapeshifts, the cheerleader?
Oh, that
No, they're not
multiplies.
multiplies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she, all 8 of her can die.
Yeah.
What? Who can we add? Let's add a character with superpowers.
I was thinking there's not a guy with water powers. They don't show anything.
That's true. They can't.
They have ice, but
the hot blonde at the end.
that
She
freezes the
holds
guy.
No, I'm talking about that holds hands with.
Oh,
War
with
and
War
Peace.
and Peace.
Yeah, that's the
but
girl
she freezes the guys at the beginning.
Does she?
And,
I didn't even
they're
notice that.
frozen the whole movie.
Yeah,
too.
they're
What happened to them?
I think they're dead.
They have to be dead. There's no way you can be frozen for that long,
Yeah.
that entire semester of school,
Yeah.
and not be dead. That's insane.
Yeah. What are some more unique powers that we could?
Oh, we need someone that turns invisible and is like a perv.
100%.
He's like a pervert.
But we don't show
We don't show him being a pervert.
We show him
But everybody knows.
looking at the girls.
He's like always.
He looks
Everybody
like,
knows
Yeah,
he is.
like you see him at the beginning, and they do the power up, and he turns invisible, and then the rest of the movie you see him 3 more times, and he's always in detention.
We're
Wait, what?
walking out of the girls.
Yeah, he's always in detention in the powerless room.
Wait, what?
Plot twist. Plot twist.
Yeah.
The pervy invisible character is a girl.
Ooh.
Oh, no one would expect. That's
That
progressive.
would, yeah.
Yeah, so she's always in detention for sneaking in the boys' locker room.
Yeah,
But we have to hint, we have to make sure it's known why.
Yeah, she's like in detention, and the principal's walking out. And she's like, "This is the last time I'm going to tell you stop sneaking into the boys' locker room."
and she can be in detention with somebody else too.
She is a 6'1" Asian with glasses.
Yeah, she's going to play in the WNBA probably because she can turn invisible. The defense will never know where she is. I want another bad guy.
Also, the offense would never know where she is, so she could steal the ball.
That's true.
Another bad guy?
We need a villain.
Well, we got Royal Pain.
I mean,
Lame
we
name,
could just,
by the way.
We could
Royal
just
Pain.
come up with another villain that Zach could fight by himself.
Somebody's
I
gonna
want
turn him
Zach.
blind.
I want Zach to be involved as much as possible.
He's going to turn him blind and punch the metal. Oh, it's a robot guy. He can turn into a robot.
Or maybe we make Larry a bad guy.
That's what I'm saying. Larry's a bad
Yeah.
guy, so he turns
Yeah.
Larry blind and punches him and breaks his hand, and then
I was gonna say if you're gonna have a nemesis for the guy that glows, it would be a black guy. The opposite.
no,
of
the
him.
black is a good guy.
I know, but
It's
they can have
Shapiro.
more than one black guy.
What, John Alex?
I've got the perfect side villain. It couldn't be the main villain, but it could be a side villain.
Like a quick villain at the beginning that they defeat pretty easily.
Yeah.
All right, his name is 50-50.
Okay.
So 50% of the time, he has the powers of Domino from Deadpool 2.
So luck.
So yeah, and everything goes his way. But the other 50% of the time, nothing goes his way.
That's actually a hilarious
It's
comedic superhero idea.
It he could trip down a flight of stairs and break his neck and die before the fight even starts.
But right before that, he like tripped down the stairs and knocked the bad guy out a window, or the good guy out the window.
Yeah, it could be Zach.
A different good guy that dies
Zach's
early.
got to do something heroic.
No,
But this is a different good guy that dies.
Okay.
This is
Like Zach.
this
could,
is some other good guy.
Zach could blind somebody and they just walk off the edge of the school and die.
That would be very funny.
Yeah.
Also, wild that they don't just like have a fence up. Like, why would they not have a fence around?
Yeah,
Like,
because
a-
not
Are
everybody
we going to
can
put a fence
fly.
on it?
Not
Well, I
everybody
don't
can
want
fly.
I don't really want to. Maybe like a bumper.
Maybe everybody has a parachute that they always
How do they not have like a radio or electromagnetic field that keeps like a
like
how
a
is that
bubble,
not a thing?
like a force
Yeah.
field kind of
How do they
thing?
not have like a bubble or a dome?
Violet can be a superhero.
She could just be there the whole
Yeah.
time with a force field around the thing.
Yeah, no.
How is it not freezing cold up there? It's got to be frigid.
Yeah.
That high in the air for that long a period of time?
Also, I got another.
Then
That person
I-
shoots laser eyes.
That's true.
And he could be like the sidekick of a main villain. And I'm going to pull some inspiration from Dragon Ball Z. A short, fat character that can stop time as long as he's holding his breath.
That's a good one.
That's ridiculous.
That's a good one.
He's on the swim team. So every time they compete, the world just stops. He'd be really good. Because every time
Yeah,
he's
but every
swimming,
time he like came up, he'd breathe.
yeah, so he can't
But-
do like the butterfly.
Yeah.
Or maybe he could, and it would just... But he can't do like freestyle, because he'd be on top of the water the whole time. Backstroke, you're on top of the water.
Yeah, but
he
he's
could do like
not
breaststroke
breathing.
and butterfly.
Like they would stop for.
When he's underwater, and they
Temporarily.
dive in, and when he's underwater,
Yeah.
They-
He would stop, and
they
he would
would
be
all
ahead,
be-
he'd get ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
And then if he's doing butterfly and breaststroke, then every time he dunks down, he just gains a little bit of a lead.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's really slow at swimming because he's fat.
So the thing is like,
And short.
right? He can't. Like the longer the fight goes on, the less effective he is.
Because he'd be out of breath.
Yeah, 'cause he'll be out of breath.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Can someone be like super racist? That'd be funny.
no, that's the
I mean-
the liberal role.
We could make the lib girl like super.
She's liberal, but she's also racist.
Yeah.
She's progressive in
Like,
every way except for race.
unintentionally racist.
No, but what if she was
Man,
intentionally
Swole
racist? She was like,
Swole
I,
AOC would be a perfect villain.
AOC?
No, but Swole AOC.
Oh, AOC.
Oh, way OC.
Way OC.
Way OC.
That's true.
This is so stupid.
I love dumb ideas like this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Hey, here's another good one. This is a villain, but he's a side villain, not a main villain. A midget.
That's it. He's just a midget.
But he can jump really high.
like
He jumps to school.
20 feet in there.
What
Or
if the
even-
stretchy guy was a midget, and everyone was like, "Dude, why don't you just make yourself normal size all the time?" And he's like, "No, that's using my powers when I'm not supposed to." It's like, no, dude, like that's just a normal.
But if
Like
you
you,
just-
would just be normal.
Yeah. Like if
With
you
a
did
small
it before
torso.
you showed up,
Yeah.
nobody would have known.
No one would ever know.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Okay, hey, here's another one. But this is a good guy. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a good guy who, as long I couldn't even get this out. As long as he has to poop,
Oh my goodness.
he's invulnerable, super strength. He's literally Superman. As long as he's holding in a poop, the moment he poops, he loses all power.
The
But-
second
but-
before the big fight, he
But
like
Will
walks
Stronghold
out
is
of the
already
bathroom.
Superman.
Yeah, but like it's
Yeah.
the second the guy walks, the second the big fight's about to start, he like walks out of the bathroom. He's like, "Oh no, who's got chili dogs?" I need to muster up a
Mid-fight
turd.
with the biggest villain in the universe and just done.
I'm trying to think of other stupid powers.
He's right about to punch the bad guy, and he
I've
poops his
got- I've got
pants and
one.
loses his power.
Actually, I'm copying this from a show I watched on Hulu. A person who is a human 3D printer, but everything they print comes out of their butt.
Oh, that's disgusting. I love it. So, is there a size limitation to what they can print out?
Well, the only thing he did in the show was a toy army soldier, and that was it.
We need to write these up. These are ridiculous.
Well, I mean, this pod will be live.
Yeah, before we do the episode where we actually do the whole thing,
These are just ridiculous.
I'll run back and write them all down.
I love making ironic ones. Like, ironic ones to me are the funniest ones ever.
Oh,
The midget is the guy who stretches. Yeah, that's 100% happening too.
Make the
You could also make the stretchy guy a pervert.
You could also make. You could also make the fast guy a short midget, a short fat midget.
Yeah.
anyone that's a midget is funny.
Yeah.
I think we nailed that.
Just make everybody a midget.
It's just a midget show, which ironically would still be called Sky High.
They're all how
They're all drug addicts.
Here we go. So you got a guy who can hypnotize anybody with his eyes. But
Okay.
he is incredibly racist, but not against blacks, against, it could be literally anything else, but
Anything except for black
he
people.
he can only see in black and white. So
He's
Asians,
colorblind.
whites, any pale-skinned person, all looks the same to him. And he's just incredibly racist to everybody, and nobody knows who he's actually racist against. It's a subplot that plays out for the entire movie. And then maybe at the end we find out.
Like during
No,
during
when
the
Zach
debate.
glows, it gives him sight.
He can see colors
Color
when
when-
Zach is. It's like a black light kind of.
Yeah.
I think I want there to be like a pothead conspiracy theorist, like the microbus in Cars, but he can read minds. And so sometimes he'll read minds accurately, and other times he'll read minds and just kind of spew his own little conspiracy theorist pothead stuff. And no one really knows if he's telling the truth or not. So then they think that other people are also crazy conspiracy theorists. That's what I'm down for.
I actually thought up with another one.
Yeah.
All right, this kid has a Jufro like Christian used to have.
I did used to have a Jufro.
It was sick.
Yeah.
You need a
Yeah.
Jew mohawk.
He's like Ruby Roundhouse in Jumanji, where when
Which one's
music's playing, he's
The
an
Fernando
incredible
one.
martial artist.
Karen
But the
Gillan.
song is the Rude Sandstorm.
Okay.
Sandstorm?
Okay.
I love that song.
That one's for Darcy. Darcy would love that character.
During the fight scene, like when it's leading up, it's Inner Sandman is playing.
Yeah.
It's that Cameron Indoor.
We've got to have like a awesome soundtrack with the movie too.
Yeah, like Inner Sandman,
Yeah.
definitely on there.
Should there be like an actually Jewish kid, and like the big fight is on a Saturday, and so
I
he's
mean,
not there?
Larry. I bet Larry is Jewish.
You think Larry's probably Jewish? You're right. That's why he's not at the dance and the big fight because it's on a Saturday.
No,
It's a
he is
Saturday.
there.
Oh, he is. Dang.
Is he
The
there?
rock
I
guy?
don't know.
The guy that turns into
He's
the
at the
rock.
party.
He's at the party.
Oh, what if instead of him turning into a big rock guy, he turns into the Rock?
That's good too. That's good.
Well, there is that guy who can shapeshift into other people.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. That's creepy. He only did it once, but
He just does it to Coach Boom.
we should do that like all the time though. Like
Yeah.
to where it's the most annoying part of the movie.
All right, I
where
gotta
it's
go.
like
I gotta go.
Alright.
Okay.
where it's like a serious scene and then it's just like oh, just kidding. It was the guy that just turns into other people the whole time.
Yeah, like it could be a moment in the final fight, and like they
Yeah.
think Will is there, but it's just the guy that turns it, and then he gets killed because he's trying to be Will Strongman.
Gwen Grayson
He gets turned into a baby.
Gwen Grayson shows
Yeah,
up
yeah,
at Will Stronghold's house to try to hook up with him, and then like as she's leading him to kiss him, he like really quick turns into that guy,
Yes, yeah,
and he's like, "Dude, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got you."
yeah. And
Now
that
you're
guy's
gay.
gay. That guy's gay.
Will Stronghold's gay. He tried to kiss me.
And he spreads that throughout the whole school.
Yeah, him and that Lisp guy are best friends too.
So he has like holes in his skin.
Yeah, he does. He's
Wait,
super
is the
ugly.
Lisp guy gay too?
No one's gay.
I thought that guy was gay. 'Cause
No,
he's
he
trying
just-
to hook
he-
up with.
He just does that so he can call Will Stronghold gay.
Okay, because he's a bad guy, the copy guy.
No, he's just like mischievous.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He just
He's not gonna do anything bad.
He's
but-
just a goofy guy.
Yeah, he's silly.
he's the class clown.
Yeah.
He's the class clown.
That is a class clown power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He everyone shows up to class to
Also,
sidekick.
turning invisible. is
He's a
class
teacher.
clown.
Yeah, he's being the teacher, and then the actual teacher shows up, and they get in an argument, and he's like, just kidding, gotcha. And then the next day, he's late to class, and the teacher's already teaching, but then he shows up as the teacher. He tries to convince everyone that the real teacher is just him
Yeah.
impersonating the teacher again.
And he could just do that with kids in the class too.
He does
Like,
it all the
no,
time. Yeah, he goes to. He's also a pervert. He pretends to be Will Stronghold just so he can check out his mom all the time. Yeah, Mom, I didn't know you were in the shower. Like that kind of thing. He's the real pervert. Him and then Girl.
Yeah, they're like best friends.
This would be the best movie ever.
It would be hilarious.
It would not do well in theaters.
No.
Probably
The Rotten
because they'd be
Tomatoes
like,
would be a 9.
oh, we're remaking Sky High, and like all the people like our age and a little older be like, oh, I'll take my kids to go see it.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes in, like 5 minutes in, they'd be like, my children cannot see this.
Yeah.
It'll be one of those that in theaters, not great numbers, but DVD sales.
Oh yeah.
Would be through the roof.
Oh yeah.
numbers
And
would be
in
through the
in 30, 40 years, it'll have like a big cult following
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
don't know if y'all know. One of the biggest ones like that was called a movie called Grandma's Boy. I don't know if y'all ever watched
No.
it, but
I get Grandma's Boy
it
and
ate in theaters. But
what was the other
DVD
one?
sales were some of the highest
Daddy's
of that
Boy?
year.
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
No, the one with Adam Sandler and
Nick Swartzen was in that one.
the one with
And Grandma.
Sandler and
That's my boy.
Sandberg.
That's my boy.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Daddy's Boy.
Oh,
That's
great
so.
movie.
Cannot make a movie called Daddy's Boy. I do want the
trying to think
dad
of
to call
another.
Will Stronghold Daddy's Boy at one point, and it'd just be really weird. Just make everyone watching uncomfortable. You're like, oh, ooh, Kurt Russell, calm down.
I'm trying to think of like weird powers that I've seen in my anime shows that I watch because they have some weird powers.
They don't have like an Ant-Man type of thing where someone can shrink, I guess.
No, they don't. I mean, they have like Ron Wilson can turn into a giant at the end,
That's true.
so that's like half of Ant-Man's power.
Yeah, that's.
What about a guy who's like good with wood, can like build stuff with wood?
Just like a master of woodwork.
Yeah. 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 His name's like
Yeah.
Jose Bautista, like the baseball player,
But he's not. But
But
he's
it's
not.
him. Or it could be him.
yeah, no,
It
no,
could be,
no,
I
he's a
guess.
great baseball player too because he like always has a wood bat with him.
But it's high school, so they're using metal bats, so he's not as good with the
yeah,
metal
but he
bat.
likes a wood bat.
That's
They
fair.
let him use a wood bat.
Yeah. He hates woodchucks and beavers. He just hates them.
Yeah, because they're trying to.
They're
steal all
stepping
the
on his
wood.
game, dude. They're swagger jacking.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else.
Do they play sports like against other schools?
I don't
Or are they
Is
not
there
allowed
another
to?
school?
Well, I mean, like there's real
Super-
school, like normal schools.
I'm talking about
Well, he
another.
said-
That's what I'm saying. Do they
Dad
pretend to
said,
not be
I'm
super?
glad that you're going to my alma mater, so that makes me think there are more superpower schools or hero schools.
Wait, what?
Y'all talking about Sky High still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
He does
Yeah,
say that.
He's
Who
like,
does?
I'm so proud of you. You're going to my alma mater. Like the stronghold.
Oh, so like, yeah.
So there could be other super schools.
Yeah, like there was
That's
other
what I'm saying. It
options.
makes me think. Okay, there are more like superhero schools. Like, what's going on?
Is there like? I mean, I guess Royal Pain said she started, or she was gonna start a
what she was
Royal
gonna do.
or a villain academy.
Yeah.
she was going to.
Which-
with the heroes that turned into kids.
That would be a way better movie.
Yeah,
Like for
that's
them-
honestly like a very good plan. Like turn all the heroes into babies and then raise them to be villains.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's a
Which
great-
also like that would suck for the first few years though.
Oh yeah.
Unless you employed
Yeah.
some other people did.
I mean, she
Like
had
if
the
you
need.
if you kidnapped like the entire working force of like where is it that nuns work? What are those
Monsters.
called? No, the one with the starts with a C. I think you know. Sound of Music. She runs off to one. Either way, you just kidnapped a bunch of nuns and had them raise the kids.
Yeah,
I feel like nuns are really.
but
good
you'd
at
have to. They would try to make them good though, wouldn't they?
No, you'd pay him to make them bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you saying that, Christian, you know this guy, but there's a guy me and John Alex grew up with. His name was T.J. Horton, and his one dream, he always said he wished he could have done it was to steal like 5 midget orphans and then go in the middle of the woods and raise them and make them believe that he was like a god.
Raise them or race them?
Like raise them.
Okay.
That's pretty bad.
Abby. A-B-B-E-Y.
Oh,
Abby.
A-B-B,
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's like a cult. Like that's really bad. It's like,
That's pretty cool, actually. That guy's kind of awesome.
It's a cult.
Yeah, but that guy's kind of awesome. He seems like he'd be fun to hang out with, if we're being honest.
He was wild back in the day.
If I worked at Disney and I was one of the dumb people there that has no original ideas and can only remake movies or come up with sequels or remake movies completely animated and then tell you it's live action like they did with Lion King,
Yeah.
which makes no sense.
Dude, I've been seeing so many like people on my there's videos popping up on my TikTok, and it's like a clip from the live action Lion King, and I'm like, first off, I don't like this movie, so why is this popping up? And everybody's like, what movie is this? And it's like, first off, it's pretty obvious.
It's so obvious.
And second, just watch the real Lion
Watch
King.
the real one. But
It's
no,
much
if I'm
better.
one of those Disney
Sorry.
people and I can't come up with an original idea to save my life because I work at Disney, I would literally be like, okay, we're going to do a sequel to Sky High, but it's going to start at the end of the original Sky High. We're going to change the ending of it where the bad guy wins, and we're going to do jump forward 12 years, and now it's a villain Sky High.
Yeah.
That's all I would do.
And like, there's got to be like a hero left.
And exactly. And
it's Ron Wilson.
Somehow,
Ron
it's
Wilson.
Ron Wilson.
Ron Wilson
There
is
you
the person
go.
that
But he
saves the day.
makes a bunch of little Ron Wilsons.
Oh, okay. Do they have powers?
All of them.
Well, yeah, his parents. So his parents,
Both of his parents
were
yeah,
super,
that's
so
true.
he's
So
got
it's
the
in his
gene.
lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he creates a bunch of... He converts
I wonder what
to
his parents'
Mormonism.
powers were.
I don't know. He converts to Mormonism and has like
Like,
25 wives and has like 2 kids with each one of them.
So he has a little army.
So there's 50
I was going to say, it'd be
superheroes.
cooler if it was just him, like, soloing this entire
47.
villain
47.
47 superhero children versus the villain Sky High.
One of the women that he marries and has kids with is Zach's mom.
Can she glow too?
yeah, she glows,
Yeah,
and that's one of those kids' powers.
exactly. I guess it could have just been like...
Got to incorporate Zach somehow.
It could have just
He
been
would
like
have been a
other-
baby. He would have
been
He would have
just-
been a villain.
Other
Yeah,
superhero
that's true.
kids.
But it could
Other
have been
superhero
like
kids grow up. I guess that makes more sense
like,
than him converting to Mormonism. But yeah,
like like him as a villain fighting his half brother. That's a good guy. Like it could
be
be
awesome.
like a
and they both just glow.
family.
So like the power goes out, and everyone's like, I don't know what to do, and they're like, we'll fight each other, I guess.
So it's not
And they
really a
glow.
fight.
Yeah.
They're like glowing.
It's like one of those awful high school fights you see on Twitter where just everyone like they're just like swinging like that, like they're just like windmill punching, but they're glowing. It's so lame, and they're identical, and they glow the exact. So you don't know what's going on. You're just like
I don't know which one's which. Who I cheer
And
for.
the bad guys and the good guys can fight as long as they're like close enough to them where they can see.
So
They like
dumb.
try to get him in like a room with some mirrors, so they'll fight in there, so it's a little bit brighter. Like, come fight over here. There's a mirror. It's like a wall of mirrors.
my
We can
God.
fight in here. Fight in the bathroom.
Oh
There's a
my
big mirror.
God.
And then the invisible girl's like, "Oh, what are y'all doing in here? Why is everyone in here? It's supposed to be me."
In the movie, I guess it was just maybe the technology at the time, but his skin isn't really glowing. It's just his clothes.
Yeah, that was bad. Also,
So is it just his clothes glow?
He
Or-
always does wear that light shade of color.
dude. Also, when he first did like his little power up thing, it was just so awkward.
He's like,
He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it," and it was like, What are you doing, dude? Like, he's like, I'm glowing.
I'm glowing.
And then he was like, you could like turn the lights off or cover your eyes and just like get really close to it. That was funny. That was hilarious.
He's the best.
Yeah, that guy was funny, for sure.
I wonder what happened to that actor.
I don't know, man.
He was probably going to get typecasted into being a guy that glows.
He's Machine Gun Kelly is what he is now. That's who he
What
is.
if it actually was Machine Gun Kelly?
That would be the most...
Nicholas Braun.
That's such a lame name, too. Let me find...
Filmography.
Oh, no. Mr. Medulla. Ugly
Minuteman, Prom.
dude. Why does the cast list say that Patrick Warburton played Gwen Grayson? Maybe he does the voice when she's the man? When she's in
Royal
costume?
Pain, maybe.
That's pretty funny.
He was in Princess Protection Program on
What is that?
ESP or Disney. It was the one with Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato.
Little Larry was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. I don't know. It was the same year, so I don't know who he would have been.
Saturday Night Live 2021.
Oh, my goodness.
Like as a cast member? Or
Who
just
said-
like appeared?
7 episodes. No,
Who said when
himself,
I said...
episode.
You said it. When I said there should be a Jewish kid, you said Larry's probably Jewish.
He looks Jewish.
The actor's Jewish.
Okay.
The actor is Jewish. He
10
has
Things I Hate About You.
Moish House, Inspiring Jewish Homes. That's him.
Oh,
It's a biography. He's a Jewish life specialist.
The Big Ugly.
He's a recent graduate of
I don't know.
Yeshivat
Whiskey
Shovevi
Tango
Torah.
Foxtrot.
He's a rabbi now.
I mean, I know 10 Things I Hate About You. I didn't know.
he's
he was-
Poltergeist.
He's literally a rabbi now.
Oh, wow.
Who?
Larry.
But we're gonna
He's a
make-
rabbi?
We're
The
gonna
one that
make
he said
Larry-
was probably going to be Jewish.
We're going to make him evil and he's Jewish.
Evil Jewish Larry, for sure.
We could have
Whatever it is, don't say it.
we could have a Kyrie character and he's like his harsh enemy.
Well, yeah, that's true. Ben Shapiro could just... Black Ben
That's true.
Shapiro could just be Black Kyrie. Could just be Sky High Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
What was I about to do?
Oh, he was in. Did y'all watch that one, Minutemen?
Yeah.
Time
Yes.
travel? He was like one of the main guys in that.
Who
he
was
was-
the
he
main?
was
Who was
Zeke.
the blonde kid in that? And what else was he in on Disney?
I don't know.
I don't remember. All right, what else is Ron
Cast,
Wilson in? 'Cause
Jason
I've seen
Dolly.
stuff, right?
Jason Dolly
Yes.
is that name. He was in Corey in the House.
I didn't watch that. Okay, yeah, this makes
Good
sense.
Luck Charlie.
He's in. Ron Wilson is in Super Troopers 2, so that makes sense. Oh, that's what it is. He's in How I Met Your Mother. He's in an episode.
Yeah.
Ron Wilson is?
Yeah. Oh, he's in.
Dude, he was nominated for Succession for Zach in
Yeah.
Succession for an Emmy.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's Succession.
What is
TV
that
show.
guy's name?
Nicholas Braun.
There was some show that Lil Sass read for,
Really?
and I want to say it was Euphoria.
Have y'all seen Succession?
No.
No.
Neither. It's on HBO. He's
Heard it's
Greg
good.
Hirsch.
Heard
He's
it's
only
good.
34.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, how old was he when Sky High was 2005? So he'd have been what, 17?
Yeah.
17 years ago, yeah. That's crazy. Think about being in a movie with
Yeah,
17.
he's in 39 episodes of Succession.
Yeah, he's like the main cat. He's main cat.
He's the main character?
He's a main character. He's a main
Oh,
character.
one of the main characters.
Who's the most
Which guy is
successful Disney
Zach.
star?
Which one's Zach?
The glowing guy.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's
Yeah, this is-
so
What's
dumb.
the dude
That's
who
him
plays
now.
Will?
Oh, I've seen him. What else is he's in?
Will is in Lords of Dogtown.
What's that guy's name?
It's a
That actor's
skating
name?
movie. Nicholas Braun.
A-U-N?
Cuba.
Yeah. He,
He's in
Will
He's on
something.
Strong.
Seabiscuit.
He's in something that he's 6'7".
Will Stronghold
Yeah,
is
he's
also in
I see him making like an angry face in something I've seen. Like being mad about something.
he's in a kung fu movie with Jackie Chan. And Jet Li, he's also in that kung fu
I don't
movie.
know any of those.
Who's the most successful Disney star?
Forbidden Kingdom. That's the
Selena
kung
Gomez,
fu movie
probably.
I was thinking of.
I would say
Miley Cyrus.
I think Selena Gomez is more successful than Miley Cyrus.
I don't know.
I wouldn't. I
I agree.
Selena Gomez is the most followed woman on Instagram.
And then she deleted it again.
I don't follow her.
But that's what she did. She became the most followed and then deleted it to show how easily it is to do that.
So she's not the most followed anymore. Who's the most
Zendaya,
followed now?
Zendaya's up there too.
Is she Disney?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
she started.
that.
She started at Disney.
Yeah.
Bella Thorne's up there too.
Right now, like
Isn't
Zendaya might be.
Raven Simone? Isn't she on The View or something now?
Yeah,
I don't
she's
know.
up there.
No, she's off that. She started getting like,
Why do you know that?
you know how we were talking about all those sports guys getting really takey? She was pushing it on The View. And they're takey on that show.
How do you push it when you're on The View, man? That's literally all they do.
Like, she was getting out there, like, it was so bizarre, like, they would just stare at her after she would say something because they didn't know how to respond.
Yeah, that's how everyone feels watching The View, though.
Yeah, but, like, when
But
the
they
people
didn't
don't
like
know how to
feeling like
respond,
that?
There's the problem.
Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers
Up
are
there.
big. I guess they did.
I
Some of
don't know,
Disney.
man.
Zac
They
Efron,
don't
maybe
bring in
not.
that revenue anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, they're like
Zac
still
Efron,
touring.
Miley Cyrus.
They're in New York next week.
Dude, this
I don't
has
know how
Hillary
you
Duff
know
as
that.
number one.
But, okay.
She's probably the hottest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
How I Met Your Father.
Yeah. Zac Efron might be, like,
Money
including
wise,
guys, like he might be.
including like money. I don't know. Jonas Brothers have probably made more money.
Maybe.
Like Nick Jonas.
Yeah, because he acts and still does music too.
I don't know, does his wife out earn him? Because those
that's
Bollywood
true.
movies make like tons of money.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, she's also in American movies too.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
But she started in India.
Yeah, yeah.
Nick Jonas' wife. I don't know her name. I can't pronounce
She's
it.
in.
I've seen it. I could guess how it's spelled. There's some CHs, some P's, some K's, some U's, a lot of Y's.
She's in the new. She's in the Baywatch movie.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh, is she the bad guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Priyanka
okay.
Chopra.
Yeah. So I was basically right.
Yeah.
Zac Efron.
Efron's up there for sure.
Yeah.
Ashley Tisdale.
She fell off.
She did fall off, kind of.
She got ugly.
Dang.
Yeah, it sucks. Brenda Song. She
Brenda
stayed hot.
Song,
Brenda Song
yeah.
stayed hot. She was a new girl.
Yeah, she was. She's the only one that's
yeah.
been in New Girl. So.
Brenda Song is, she had a kid with Macaulay Culkin.
That's right. I knew
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah, mismatched couple.
I didn't know
Eve
that
ugly.
Macaulay Culkin's brother was also an actor. I just figured that out.
Oh, I saw where someone had like the
Dude, my brother.
Skarsgård brothers versus the McCulkin brothers, and it was like who would win in a fight, and it was like clearly the Skarsgård brother. They're jacked.
Kieran Culkin, that's his name.
Now, Oakley, if it was a competition to do the most drugs,
Oh, the Culkins, no doubt. I mean, easily. You know who I wish had like hit it big time is Ren from Even Stevens. She was hot.
Dude, she has a podcast.
No way.
Yeah.
I need to listen to it. Is she still hot?
Yeah, she's still
Let's
attractive.
go. I watched the Even Stevens movie the other day.
I always thought she looked like the girl who was in Princess Diaries.
Anne Hathaway?
I always thought they looked similar.
Yeah, I could see
I
it.
could
Yeah.
say that back then, yeah.
Where did Anne Hathaway get her start?
She was before Disney.
Princess
Yeah.
Diaries.
I mean, but she
I
was
think,
in stuff
her
before that,
first
probably,
thing,
right?
But her real big takeoff was The Devil Wears Prada. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like, where
Princess
she
Diaries
started.
was her big takeoff, dude.
I mean, Princess Diaries was in 01. Like, that's a long time ago. Like, that might
That
have
was a
been.
Disney movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we're counting.
Lindsay Lohan.
Dude.
Lindsay
Talk about
Lohan
falling
was
off.
a
Parent
child,
Trap.
Like 8 years old.
She's not even hot, though. What'd you just say?
Lindsay Lohan was like a child star. She was like
Okay.
8 years old and
Yeah.
she was in the movie.
I'm saying, yeah, Parent Trap.
I thought you were saying she was
I don't
hot
know
back
about- I
then,
don't know
dude.
about Anne Hathaway. I have
Anne
no idea
Hathaway was
what
in a
it is.
TV show like a year and 2 years before the Princess Diaries.
Okay.
So like if
I
you
just-
count that,
I
then
just-
it wasn't Disney. That was her start.
Yeah.
I just know her from Princess.
What TV show was it though?
Get Real.
Was Kaylee?
Was that a
I don't know
Disney
if
show?
I'm not saying her name right. Kaylee Kuko.
No, I don't
something
think she's
like that.
Disney, is
Is
she?
she Disney?
I don't
She
think
wasn't Disney,
so.
was she?
Because I never heard of her till Big Bang
Oh,
Theory.
no. I got one. Hayden Panettiere.
Is he Disney?
Was she?
Remember the
She
Titans?
got married to the boxer.
Oh, I'm thinking of Hayden Christensen.
Remember the Titans? She was in.
Yeah,
Remember
but
the
she's
Titans?
not that big. She's in that one show called
But Hayden
Nashville.
Nashville, yeah, but that's not a big show. It's on like CW, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She's hot though.
No, this Get Real show was not Disney. So
What
if
show
you're
was
counting
she?
that, it
She was in
wasn't.
something when she got older that she was hot in.
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, a movie.
A movie.
I know this is not Disney, but back in the day, Summer Sanders.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is, dude.
You don't? You
No.
don't know, what was that show where they did all the slime on Nickelodeon?
I think it was just called Nickelodeon.
No, where they had to guess like what people's talents were.
I don't remember that.
It was like the cast of all that and stuff. Man, what was that show? Hold on.
Okay, can we end
Dude,
the podcast
she's
and then
50
keep
years
talking
old.
about
She's not
this?
hot.
Can we end the episode and then keep talking about this if we want?
We can keep talking about this on the episode, though, can't we?
It's just kind of pointless.
That's what's funny about it.
Our loyal listeners.
Oh, she
are gonna
was
like
hot.
it.
You're right.
Wait, let me see.
Let's hear.
Yeah, she was hot.
What was that show she was on?
Pull up her filmography.
Oh yeah.
Figure it out.
I don't know, dude.
Pull up her. Click Wikipedia.
Figure it out.
Click Wikipedia right there.
No, I just saw it right there. It's called
Figure it out.
There she is interviewing Kid Rock at the NBA Finals. That's random.
It's super random. Was it?
She was,
Was
an
it the
Olympic.
Pistons?
She was an Olympic
Then
champion.
it wouldn't be that random if it was the Pistons.
Why?
Kid Rock's from Detroit.
Oh,
I can't see
that
the
makes
year.
sense.
Kid Rock is insane. Like
2012, I think.
Oh, okay, then that's random.
Oh wait.
If it was like what 04?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere. It's just a
Hey,
it's an article about her, and that's a
what
picture they
Mason's
used.
Thoughts are on the possibility of Derrick Henry getting traded.
I don't think he'll get traded.
You really don't? I've been saying this since November. I feel like it's going to happen.
Oh, if it happens, it wouldn't shock me because he's got this year, next year left on his deal, I think, and if
Y'all aren't going to re-sign him.
we're not going to win, I wouldn't say that. I say that we're not going to win a championship with him. It wouldn't shock me if we re-signed him to a cheap deal and brought in somebody to pair with him and ran like a true 2 system, and like had him as a thumper and.
But here's the thing. Let's
And
say
other
these
guys
next
like the
2 years he balls out, but
Yeah.
you don't win. You don't even win the division. He's going to want to get paid for playing that well.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't think Henry's like that. I think he's like, all right, I made my money. I want to win.
He's probably,
I could see him
I feel
going
like-
somewhere else to
yeah,
win.
I feel like he's somebody that's probably been smart with it too. So like he's not gonna be desperate to make more money because he's been smart with his money.
Yeah.
Like, are you saying that he's someone smart enough to not, do something with a gun or something?
Well, I've seen,
Yeah.
looking at his house here, you can tell he's not out there just blowing a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's probably $1 million house because it's in Green Hills, but it's not.
I thought you were going to be like, yeah, he got an apartment in a pretty casual area.
He
No.
lives in Georgetown condominium.
No, it's I'm not gonna say it. I'll tell you where it is off, but it's not you see it and you're like, yeah, it's probably $1 million house because it's a newer house in Green Hills. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's not.
It's not like some
Derrick Henry.
ridiculous mansion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like
Hey,
Taylor
if he's
Lewan's
like
house in
that,
Green
that's
Hills.
fine,
Yeah.
but
Taylor Lewan's house is a $6 to $8 million house,
Yeah.
if not more. Whereas
Yeah,
Henry's is probably
I
Henry's
just-
has a quarter of an he has a quarter of an acre.
I just don't see him being on the team much longer. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but hey, if they can get him to sign for what they think that he's actually worth and help the team out, go for it, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
And that's what John Alex said that today about.
There are 3 teams in the AFC South right now that are pretty much on straight rebuild mode.
I agree. It's going to be interesting to see how, because the thing is, if you fire Vrabel, I don't think you're going to find a better coach than Vrabel.
It's not likely.
You're crazy.
It's not likely.
Yes. So like, I think
Especially
you
on
try
the
to.
first try.
It's not.
You were in a horrible roster.
I don't think you full rebuild. I think you reload, retool, and if that means ended up trading up and getting a young quarterback in a draft, that's fine. But you're not completely blowing up the team to do that. Like if we ended up trading Tannehill this year and then signed Jimmy G or somebody like that, Baker or somebody to a 1-year deal, and then okay, we're going all in for a quarterback next year, would totally make sense. Because one of these teams that are taking a quarterback early, which the division wouldn't trade, but one of these teams that are taking a quarterback early is going to be bad. Like, say the Panthers. Say they're bad, they take a quarterback. Well, they want their quarterback for another year, so they're probably going to trade out. So they would be willing to move back, and the Titans could move up and get Williams or
Drake May.
Or Drake May or whoever you want. Or you could trade for that quarterback that they took this year if they want one of those other.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do, but they don't ask me for my opinion.
Sure.
But I take, like I said at 11. If all three tackles are there at 11, I trade back to I think the Steelers may want to come up, especially if the corners start running off the board, which they could take offensive linemen too. But
I'll tell you this, from what I watched on the offensive line on Pro Day, it was that there's a lot of really talented guys in this one. Now, I'm not saying that because there are certain drills I could care less about that they make. One is the 40-inch vertical. That's so stupid.
Yeah, vertical.
And people go, "Oh, you get to test their explosive." Yeah, that's what the whole broad jump is for.
Yeah, that's explosive.
Broad jump and
you don't care. You don't care about how high an offensive lineman can get. That will never matter.
No.
They should take. There's a lot for the offensive line and defensive line they need to take out.
Well, vertical for defensive line, I could see that batting down passes and stuff. It's definitely works more for defensive line than offensive line. It's done for offensive line.
Merrimack won.
Really?
Yeah.
But I think this is I know this is really weird because it wasn't like a lot of sacks this past year, but there was a lot of really athletic defensive linemen in this one, and there was a lot of really good offensive linemen in this one.
Yeah, I'm
really bummed out about Voorhees because he was good.
I want the Titans to take him in the 4th round.
The BYU he's going to be legit.
Blake Freeland?
Is it Freeland? Is that his name?
Is that the tackle? He's like 6'8", 305?
Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's a stud. That's who. So before our Madden season got interrupted last year, I drafted him in the 3rd round, and he was a superstar.
Also, for Christian and Mason, the Florida linemen, defense and offense, showed out. They did great.
Yeah. Was Garage invited to come by?
Like the guard, I don't know who the guard's. I can't remember his name.
Torrance.
Torrance is the guard.
He's the best guard in the draft.
He made a name for himself.
Look, listen, in 3 years starting, okay. Last year he was PFF, which I don't like PFF, but he was their Sun Belt Player of the Year at guard. In 3 years he has allowed 1 quarterback pressure.
Dude, he's good,
and he's a better run blocker than he is pass blocker. He's a stud.
Y'all are going to be hurting this year on the line. Then
that's
what
it's still going to be good.
It's going to be good, but he is a absolute.
He was a monster.
I didn't watch any of the linebackers, and I know for Oakley, Kentucky had a ton of linebackers coming out. So I don't know. I don't watch linebackers. I don't watch linebackers. I don't watch running backs on combines because I know they're freaks. I know they're going to put up great numbers. Their numbers are almost essentially the same every time. But I will say this: out of the 40s I did watch, there's something going on with that clock, dude. There are some people that look like they are zooming, and it'll pop up like a 4.5, and you're like, what? That was a 4.3, 4.4 easy.
Yeah, and then some people look slow, and they run a...
And I wonder if it's because of how people run through at the end. And it looks differently to our eyes than it actually is on the laser.
Well, and that's too. Like, I think the time on the screen was off.
You think NFL Combine rigged?
Okay, so I'm going to say this, and this. I don't know if this was before, but or I don't know how long it's been going on. I know that Kyler Murray and I know that Bryce Young are not that high. There's no way.
You mean tall?
They're not that tall.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said that high, and I was like, are you talking about tallness and calling it being high?
I'm talking about the height. Like, I don't think they are that tall at all. At all. I don't think Bryce Young, like, the jokes on Twitter were cracking me up. Some dude said that Bryce Young hadn't taken a dump in probably 3 weeks to get to 2 pounds. I was crying laughing.
Wait, he weighed 200?
He weighed 204.
Yeah.
That's
Kyler
crazy.
Murray, they're the same height. Kyler Murray weighed 207.
Okay, but Kyler Murray's not 5'10".
But he measured 5'10" and like 1/8 at the combine. That's
fine.
thing.
I don't believe
That's
that.
the same thing Bryce Young measured at. He was 3 pounds heavier.
I believe that more with Young than
Bryce Young's hands were like 1/8 of an inch bigger.
Yeah.
So Bryce Young there's a video of
He's not
Bryce
as
Young
athletic
walking
as
in with
Kyler
a
is.
tight end, and the tight end was like, I think 5'10".
A tight end?
Like, yeah, he was like a 5'10" or 5'11". Like,
He
was
should be a
short
fullback.
tight end.
Yeah, that's not.
I don't know how he's even in the combine. And Bryce Young looked really short next to him. And I was like, God, I don't want this guy as my quarterback. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe that guy was taller. I have no idea. But like,
I don't know.
people were,
I've said like
The shortest tight end was 6'3".
Bryce Young's
maybe
6'3".
Bryce Young is that high, but I don't believe Kyler Murray was. And they're saying that they're the same height.
Was it Sam Laporta?
So I think there's a little
From
stat
Iowa?
pad. Now there's also
He played quarterback in that ball game.
that people rigged the vertical jump to like how they stretch their arm out. He said that's been going on for years.
Well, that's how you do the vertical. You measure how high like you can reach, and then you stand straight and you reach up.
yeah.
Straight up.
Without like doing that.
Without
like trying to just like a normal
straight,
reach.
But like you can do that.
Yeah, but
Lower your shoulder blade.
yeah.
it like
Well, that's gonna get like a half an inch.
maybe an inch at most.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I don't know. But like, no, I don't think not wanting a small quarterback is like an unreasonable thing because only 2 of them have worked out. So
How far can you drop as a quarterback
But
for your size, for your height?
As physicality, like looking at all of them, like every one of them look like able to take hits and they're ready for the NFL.
oh yeah, I mean like Russell Wilson was like thick, like he was like a pretty big
he weighed.
5'11".
I don't
You
even
know,
know, but he looked like he weighed more than Bryce Young did.
he probably weighed like 210. I bet.
I would say
215.
almost 220.
I feel like
he's
Bryce Young's
free
taller than
coming out
Kyler
of
Murray.
college.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Kyler's 5'8".
we're gonna have to pull up a Heisman House video and see them standing beside each other.
I think Bryce Young is probably about 5'10". Maybe 5'10 and a half.
I do want to see, where these guys end up. I mean, which I won't know until draft night, and because that's really going to determine who has the most success. If they get set up with a coach who knows how to coach them and develop their talents.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, as a Titans fan and kind of a Florida fan too, I don't want to see Anthony Richardson go to the Colts because I think he would succeed there with Steichen.
Yeah. Second.
Simple
I feel
shame.
like
I don't want to have
dude.
that pool. Like,
Richardson,
I hope he
I
does.
feel like they actually have a good shot at playing in Indianapolis.
How
I
tall?
really
How
do.
tall is Tim Tebow?
He was 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah. Was he 6'1"?
I mean, that's not a
Tebow
5
was
inch
taller than
difference.
6'1".
Look at.
He was like 6'3", I'm pretty sure.
I'll Google it. Right.
That's a little bit bigger difference.
I was going to say, Tebow might not be like...
They look like they're more even standing there, and that's
Let me
a
see.
bigger
But-
difference.
He's
I
6'3".
I do get tired of people saying like Bryce Young is the clear cut number one because obviously he's not.
Yeah.
Because people like there's only been few clear-cut number one quarterbacks I've seen since being alive, and two of them. One was Andrew Luck. That was clear-cut. Like, the Colts knew the day they got that pick who they were drafting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as they were on the clock at the end of the season.
Luck didn't even have to work out. He could have sat on the couch for the rest of the time until they went up on stage and said, Andrew Luck. And that would have been it. And
He probably would have gotten worse at football
I
if
would
he did
assume
that,
Cam
though.
Newton.
I think Lawrence was.
Yeah. I think it was.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lawrence, but I mean, yeah. He did. I guess it's because he didn't have a great of the last year as we thought he would.
I mean, his best year was his freshman year.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But also, I think Dabo's falling off the cliff. I think he's coming to an
Well,
end.
they just don't. They don't get like great offensive linemen.
Like Jackson
No, dude.
Norman may be the best lineman they've had. He's a swing guy in the NFL.
And so he doesn't like their quarterbacks don't have 7 seconds to sit back there and read a defense like Alabama does.
Killing people at recruiting. He's getting the guys he wants and he knows they're good.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dabo and Nick Saban are just getting the rest.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think Dabo is going to take Saban's job anymore when Saban retires. I used to be big on that trade, and I don't think it's going to
I was
happen
never
anymore.
big on it.
I don't believe it'll ever happen. Some people think Lane Kiffin's just waiting to take it still. I don't think that'll ever happen either.
I mean,
I don't
that's
think,
not
I
a
don't
wild
think Alabama
difference.
would ever hire Lane Kiffin as a head coach.
I mean, how tall was Mac Jones?
I don't know, but if you look at that, if Bryce 10's
6'1".
no, he's taller than that. But if Bryce 10 is 5'10",
Bryce
if
10.
Bryce Young is 5'10", then if you look at that picture, Mac Jones is like what 5'11" and a half,
He's 6'3".
6'3". I mean, that doesn't look like 6'3" standing next to 5'10".
No, it doesn't.
I think Bryce Young is taller than they measure.
They
him.
would try to get someone from the Nick Saban tree. I just don't know who.
Is
they
that
would
you know what it actually is? He wears tall cleats.
Did you see that picture of his shoes the other day?
Smart. That's
They're
smart.
like 3-inch soles.
Yeah, I kind of want some.
They're
I'm
like
being
that
honest.
big.
I kind of want some.
I kind of want some. If I'm being honest. As a 5'10" man myself, I kind of want some.
Christian, what if Bill O'Brien takes the Alabama head coach job after Nick Saban leaves?
Alabama fans would riot.
Yeah, they would.
You know what? I'm getting just like today. I'm getting
Bill
sick and
O'Brien.
tired of people bashing Bill O'Brien.
He was a
because
good
one year-
head coach
one
in the
year They
NFL.
don't have a first round
Bad
draft
GM.
pick
Yeah.
wide receiver. Their offense doesn't score 60 points a game. And people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we only scored 48 points against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Dude,
We
you
talked
let
about
them
sports
score
talking heads for
52.
40
How about
minutes
you
and
be
then
better?
Sky High for an hour.
And now we're talking about the draft.
Man.
Yeah, like if Gibbs just catches that angle route, Alabama wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bill O'Brien wasn't the problem in that
they
game.
Do they want Bill O'Brien to go down there, catch the ball, and then hand it to Gibbs 10 yards downfield so that way he can run in and score? I don't know.
That's what Lane Kiffin would have done, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Lane Kiffin would have done that.
He did his out of the two coordinators. He did his job to the fullest. The other dude that got no backlash whatsoever, who left for
Was it
a
Golden?
lateral
Pete
position.
Golden?
Pete Golden.
I would say it's a step.
That's
Step
a
down.
step down.
But yeah, you're right. Step down because they do not care about defense over there. Because I mean, like what's that all about? Like,
I don't know.
no one ever said anything about how horrible the defense was. Ever since Kirby Smart has left, the defense
Oh,
has
because
gotten
defense doesn't
The defense has been way worse.
worse.
defense doesn't
The
matter
defense has
anymore
looked
really.
so bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad because they were still physical. And then when the strength and conditioning coach left to be a special teams coordinator at Georgia, that's when it all started going downhill. Like we got linebackers that don't weigh over 215.
Yeah.
Like McClain was out there running a 4.4 at like 230, 240, smashing dudes.
Yeah, he is a freak though.
Yeah.
No, you can't get those every time.
Yeah. Okay, Sherm, we need to stop.
No, dude, I keep
Yeah,
going.
no, we need to stop.
Why don't I just Yankees pod for 6 hours real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to
You
sleep.
can stay out here
Are
and
we
do
still
that.
podding?
Yeah, we're still podding,
Yeah, I'm
dude.
about to end it though.
We're going to have to
Okay,
cut half
we're
the
gonna.
things you said.
Okay,
That's podding.
that's it. We're gonna do it again next week.
Lord willing.